Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Battle Court Jai-Alai. Tonight's game day will feature the Chargers and the Cyclones. Let's begin with player introductions for tonight's game day. We'll be introducing first the away team, the Chargers. Number 77, El Barba. Number 4, Bradley. He should walk. Number 32, Ubia. Your captain of the Chargers, number 55, Benny. Number 91, Iturbide. And number 54, Zuleika. And now the home team, the Cyclones. From Fort Lauderdale, Florida, number 92, Flores. From Miami, Florida, number 22, Bueno. From San Diego, California, number 23, Ikeda. From Miami, Florida, number 3, Carballo. From Zumaya, number 50, Lopez. And your captain of the Cyclones, from Saint-Jean-de-Luz, France, number 17, Manu. And with that, the players salute you, the fans. We are ready to begin tonight's game day. And with that, introductions aside, want to welcome everybody into another edition of Live Highlight in the Magic City. Friday night edition, that is. I am Andrew Blackman, joined alongside Stu Nyman to bring you the Chargers and Cyclones. How you doing today, Stu?
Very well, Andrew. Looking forward to a fantastic night of Highlight here live in the Magic City.
And a great match to get us started. Let's quickly introduce it here. Second-ranked doubles for the Chargers, the team of Iturbide and Ubia. And for the Cyclones, it's Ikeda and Lopez. We are ready to begin this Friday night game day. Chargers, as the away team, will have the serve to begin all matches.
First match is ready to begin. Iturbide has the serve for the Chargers. There's a serve. Our game day is underway. Backhand. Lopez from the left side. Backhand from the 10 line. Here's Ubia. Lopez is there. Backhand. Passing backcourt or Rebote. That rebound from the back wall comes out. Caught by Lopez. Ubia, backhand the inside. Caught in the air by Ikeda in the front court. Backhand by Ubia. Iturbide now goes hard to the back. Lopez is there. Ball taken down low on the forehand of Lopez. There's the forehand return. Ball tipped at the side wall. First point of the match goes to Ikeda and Lopez of the Cyclones. Ikeda serves. A reminder, the scoring in Battle Court, first team to reach 6 points wins the set. First team to win 2 sets wins the match.
Perfect placement right there to get us started on the numbers. Just tipped there on the left side of Ubia.
Lopez fine catch, backhand from the 12 line. Lopez again, backhand. There's a backhand by Lopez. That clears the overhead screen. Ubia is there. Lopez again, this time from the 11 line. Rebote forehand by Ikeda, nicely played. Drop shot. Ikeda gets there, stops it. Here's the backhand. This ball caught in the air by Ikeda. Ikeda hard from the forehand, passing the back quarter. Rebote by Iturbide. Catch by Lopez at the 12 line. Lopez again, backhand from the 12. High and hard, passing the back quarter. Rebote forehand by Iturbide. Backhand to the inside. Rebote for Ikeda. He makes the save. Iturbide. Backhand from the 7 line. Rebote, the rebound from the back wall to the forehand of Ikeda. Iturbide's there. Winds up with the costado 2-all. That will score. Well executed by Iturbide. We're tied up at 1 point apiece. Iturbide serves for the Chargers.
Second time on the costado. This time Iturbide chooses the 2-all. Shoulder level, left side of his body, catches the sidewall, front wall. Ikeda almost got there. First step on that net. Tough to stay up on your 2 feet, keep concentration, make the catch. Throw ties it up 1-1.
Here's the backhand by Lopez. Lopez again, beautiful catch there at the side wall. Ubia's there, backhand. Low runner, picked up by Lopez. Ubia to the inside. Rebote, the rebound from the back wall, saved by Ikeda. Is Iturbide, another 2-all. That one opening up close to the front wall and scoring, beautifully executed by Iturbide. 2-1, the Chargers lead.
That one just about as good as Iturbide throws the 2-all up there in the front court. You mentioned where it opened up, Stu. Look at this. Off the front wall, I mean, that's about 2-3 line maybe. Tough for Ikeda to play the split placement and defend the outside when he's throwing it like that.
Good hard serve by Iturbide. Here's the backhand by Lopez. Backhand to the inside. Ubi is there. Ikeda on the catch. Here's the backhand from the 9 line. Rebote is dropping. Ikeda going for the save. Lands just wide. 3 points for the purple shirts, Iturbide and Ubia. Iturbide serves.
Yeah, Lopez a little bit screened in the backcourt, gave Ikeda late notice, just not there in time to turn that forehand Rebote. So far impressed with, I mean, obviously a world-class player coming to us in Lopez, but his catching, Stu, on this court already, it's been exceptional. He's missed just 1 ball early on in the first couple matches a few weeks ago. Now, really locked in, hasn't missed one yet.
Beautiful catch by Lopez, cutting it off from the side wall. Backhand by Ubia, caught by Lopez. Lopez from the forehand. Rebote forehand. Lopez on the backhand from the 11 line. Here's Ubia, backhand. Thrown hard to the inside. Lopez is there. Powerful right side by Ubia. A bit of a wonky bounce coming off the back wall. Here's the catch by Iturbide. Rebote, that rebound from the back wall comes out. Forehand rebote by Ikeda. Iturbide. Drop shot. Inside placement, rather. Forehand hard to the inside. Lopez saves the rebote. It's a splitter. Stopped by Ubia. That ball died coming off the back wall and scores. Well thrown by Ubia. That's 4 points for Iturbide and Ubia of the Chargers. Iturbide serves.
4 straight points now for this Chargers team. Take a look here. Powerful forehand from the outside from Ubia back over the top. Ikeda not sure if Lopez is going to get in there trying to make a quick bounce catch on the forehand deep in the backcourt.
Lopez on the backhand to the inside. Ubia is there. Backhand 2-all. Lopez catches it in the air. Powerful forehand crossing the sidewall. Good catch by Ubia. Here's a backhand by Ikeda. Ubia on the forehand, deep in the backcourt. Difficult rebote saved by Ikeda. Drop shot into the pad, and the pad is bad. 2 points for the blue shirts, Ikeda and Lopez. Ikeda has the serve. Reminder once again of the scoring in battle court. First team to reach 6 points wins the set. First team to win 2 sets wins the match.
That's the 3rd time Iturbide's gone to the drop shot off the costado. 2 times Cyclones were able to track it down. That one thrown into the pad. With Ikeda kind of reading that well and Lopez moving up as well. Got to stick with that 2-all that's gotten him 2 points in this set alone.
Backhand by Ubia. What a catch by Lopez at the back wall. Rebote's coming way out. Ikeda from the 3-line, rifling it to the inside. Ubia is there. What a catch by Lopez at the 13 line. Catch by Lopez again. Here's Iturbide. Lopez from the 12. Ubia calls for it. Here's the backhand. Ikeda, forehand rebote. Catch by Ikeda. Here's the backhand by Ubia. Lopez, beautiful catch there at the side wall, 11 line. Rebote, the rebound from the back wall, played by Iturbide, scooped up beautifully by Lopez on the left side. Ikeda makes the catch midcourt. There's the backhand. Lopez from the backhand, too much. That gets away from him, hits the overhead screen. 5 points and a possible set for Iturbide and Ubia. Iturbide will serve.
Lopez known for that big, powerful, lofting backhand. Just a bit of a lower overhead screen here than he's used to. Muscle memory, kind of used to that older court, sailing a little higher than he would have wanted. Such a solid set here offensively and defensively for the Chargers. The 2-all working for Iturbide. Ubia here in the backcourt. Outside of that first drop, it's looked very solid.
Excellent serve by Iturbide. Fine catch by Lopez. Here's the backhand. Backhand by Lopez. Ball's on the wall, caught beautifully by Lopez. Big backhand, caught by Ubia. Scoop by Lopez. Iturbide on the backhand. Ball tipped in the backcourt. That is point and set for the Chargers in purple.
(6-2) in the opening set. Chargers, Iturbide and Ubia coming out on top. After getting at a 1-0 deficit, they ran 6 of 7 points. Iturbide and Ubia last time out against the Warriors. Surprising loss for that team. First time out against the Fireballs, number 2. That would be Veronda and Amiga Reina. They won in straight sets. High expectations for this team, and they showed you why right there.
Just about a minute to go before we come back and play our second set. There we are in the ESPN 3 Players Cage. You have Iturbide on the right side of your screen, Ubia on the left. Solid first set for both players. Fine catching and throws. Iturbide doing a little bit of a better job landing those shots in, especially from the costado. Just overall well-played first set.
And if you're the Cyclones here coming out for set number 2, just need a little bit more offense. You saw the catching by Lopez there in the backcourt is about as solid as you could hope for with a guy just in his, third or fourth professional game here at Magic City. That starts with Ikeda up in the front. Not known for his left side. He's got to mix it up a little bit. He's got some caroms. He's got some outside placements. At least keep Iturbide honest up there defensively, because he's been very active cutting balls off on the inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to begin our second set. Ikeda has the serve for the Cyclones. Ikeda serves. Our second set is now underway. Ubia, backhand, low runner. That backhand thrown to the pad, and the pad is most definitely bad. First point for Ikeda and Lopez of the Cyclones. Ikeda serves.
I don't know if there's a reason to thread the needle quite like that. Lopez has proven that he can catch just about anything on this court, and no reason to sacrifice the point trying to get it an inch above the pad.
Beautiful catch by Lopez. Backhand from the 11 line. Powerfully thrown to the inside. Nice snag there on the left side by Iturbide. Rotate forehand. Caught by Iturbide. Here's the backhand by Lopez. Caught in the air by Ubia. Backhand powerfully thrown, clearing the overhead screen. Robote forehand by Iturbide. Here's the backhand by Lopez at the 10 line. Backhand by Lopez. Forehand over the top. Ikeda makes a fine catch off the bounce at the 9 line. Big bounce, brought down by Ubia. Ball tipped in the backcourt. We're all tied up 1 point apiece. A reminder, the scoring in Battle Court. The first team that reaches 6 points wins the set. First team to win 2 sets wins the match.
A difficult catch. Lopez backing up, backed up to the glass, trying to take it on the quick bounce. The first set, he let that come out, and Ikeda wasn't there on the rebote. This time, trying to step in. Just have to communicate a little bit more effectively here. Maybe try to get that rebote up and continue the rally. Tough play for the backcourt.
Here's Lopez. Powerful backhand thrown low and hard. Ubia is there. Here's Ikeda on the backhand. What a catch by Ubia, jumping into the corner. Backhand caught by Lopez. Lopez from the forehand, a little lower, a little harder, crossing the side wall. Miscommunication, lost a point. 2 points for Cyclones. Ikeda serves.
Exactly right. Both players in position, and at the last second, both players kind of stepped out of the way.
Fine serve by Ikeda. Here's Ubia. Lopez on the backhand from the 11 line. Lopez this time from the forehand. Big right side. Ubia, tough catch at the 12. Urabote, the rebound from the back wall, played on the forehand of Ikeda beautifully to pass both players on the Chargers. Catch up high by Lopez. Lopez lower and harder. Lopez again, this time from the 11 line. Ikeda catches it in the air. Cortada stopped by Ubia. Beautiful catch down low by Lopez. Iturbide's on it. Backhand from the 7 line. Robote rifled to the outside and tipped. Beautifully played by Lopez. 3 points for the blue shirts. Ikeda and Lopez. Ikeda serves.
And Lopez doing a little something with that Robote. Not much offense coming there from the front court. He puts it to the outside. Iturbide not expecting it and just knocked it down.
Here's the backhand by Ubia. Robote coming way out. Ikeda had it lined up, just missed on the forehand. 2 points for the purple shirts. Iturbide and Ubia. Iturbide serves for the Chargers.
Ikeda was licking his chops at the prospects of throwing the Robote from up there at the 2 line, winded it up really hard, and just a big swing and a miss. Not his usual throw on that Robote. Big break for the Chargers here. Looking at a 4-1 deficit. Now it's just 3-2.
Here's the backhand by Lopez. Robote saved by Iturbide. Ikeda attacks from the forehand to the feet of Ubia. Nice pick up there on the left side. Lopez on the forehand. Powerful right side, caught in the air by Iturbide. Lopez on the backhand to the corner, out to the Robote. Iturbide is there. Iturbide 2-all. Stopped by Ikeda. Ikeda beautifully back to the inside. What a save by Ubia. Tremendous play. Tipped in the front court. 3-3. We're all tied up.
That's an exceptional effort by the Chargers backcourt of their Ubia. Look at this one again. You can see the 2-all right here, though. Great stop by Ikeda. This is what we're looking at. This Robote kind of trapped under the bridge, opens up with one hand, keeps the rally going, and it scores.
Beautiful catch by Lopez off a good serve by Iturbide. Robote to the inside. Catch by Lopez. What a catch by Ubia. Ikeda, Robote to the inside. Ubia is there. Backhand. Low runner. What a catch by Lopez. Scoop on the left side. Iturbide is there. Ball dropping and scoring. 4 points for the purple shirts. Iturbide and Ubia. Iturbide serves for the Chargers.
It's another one on this court in particular. Doesn't tend to come out as much as would off a traditional back wall, so Ikeda just has to recognize that, play a little bit deeper, expect that Lopez is going to let that come out. All of a sudden, after the Cyclones looked like they're going to take it to a third set, the Chargers are in the lead, 4-3.
Lopez sets, here's the backhand. Catch by Ubia. Catch on the forehand of Lopez. Robote. Forehand goes deep. Robote forehand outside placement. Scoop by Ikeda. Dos Paredes, the 2-all. In. Call is in. The call is in.
They are discussing the call. Looks like the call has been made and it's in. A little bit of confusion there. The judge is just trying to clear that up and exactly what's going on. There is not a challenge. The ball was in. We continue on play here. It is 4-4 Cyclones
4-4 is the score. Ikeda serves. Lopez fine catch, backhand from the 10 line, powerfully thrown. Here's Lopez on the catch again, backhand. Catch by Lopez, backhand from the 10 line. Cortada from the 11 line. Here's the backhand. Robote coming out. Ikeda calls for the Robote, saves it to the outside. Iturbide on it. Drop shot read by Lopez.
Wow.
He was just inches away. That is 5 points for Iturbide and Ubia. We have a possible set, possible match point.
Well, Iturbide's got a whole lot of confidence with that drop shot. Hasn't worked yet today, but throws it at a crucial time from the outside. Look at this one. Just above the pad, off the front wall. Look at Lopez trying to get there from the backcourt. Second bounce just in front of the 5 line. As you said, Stu, inches away, but just missed it. Chargers with the chance to take the match right here in straight sets.
Backhand by Lopez from the 10 line, passing the back quarter. Robote left side by Ikeda. He keeps the ball in play. There's Iturbide. 2-all. Scoop by Ikeda. Ikeda's Costado will score. We are at 5-5 off a tremendous play by Ikeda. So it is possible set point for the Cyclones, possible match point for the Chargers. Ikeda serves.
And he kept that Costado on the wall to the inside. Iturbide going for more of a splitter, gets it to Ikeda's left side. You want to keep this throw as close as possible to the side wall. It scored right there.
Iturbide picks the serve. Robote. That was clean and cleared the overhead screen. What a scoop by Lopez. There's the backhand. Lopez now from the 11 line. Big right side. Robote forehand. Here's Ubia. Backhand from the 9 line. Ball caught in the air by Lopez. Powerful backhand. Robote coming up the middle. Iturbide to the inside. Lopez is there. Backhand. Powerfully thrown on the wall. What a catch by Ubia. Robote forehand by Ikeda. Ubia calls for it. Catch by Lopez. Lopez from the forehand. Robote left side to the inside by Iturbide. Ball tipped.
Wow.
That is point and set to Ikeda and Lopez. We will move on to a third and decisive set. Move on to a third and decisive set in just a minute, 50 seconds.
Quite the comeback right there, getting the final 2 points. How about that Robote saved by Lopez, just clearing the overhead screen, kept the rally going. Just
Lopez
enough.
consistently doing a really good job here in the backcourt, but really impressed with Ubia. This is some of the best catching that we've seen Ubia do since he got here. There we are in the ESPN3 Players Cage. 2-minute break in between sets. You see the Cyclones. Lopez on your right, Ikeda in the middle. Manu. Not just resting, but also getting feedback of what they need to do to come out on top here in this third and decisive set that's going to begin in just a minute. Reminder, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Battle Court live from the Magic City Jai-Alai Fronton in Miami, Florida. Welcome.
Well, I got a minute to go here, Stu. Run through the other 5 matches today between the Chargers and Cyclones. Up next, top-ranked singles match, Zuleika and Manu. Then El Barba and Benny take on Ikeda and Bueno. 5th-ranked doubles. Iturbide and Bradley against Flores and Lopez. 4th-ranked doubles. Then Benny and Carballo go at it in singles, 3rd-ranked group. And we will close it out with Zuleika and Bradley against Bueno and Manu. That will be 3rd-ranked doubles.
Be very curious to see what happens here in this second set. Ikeda tends to get warmed up and do a little better. You see him there sitting on the bench.
He got a little confidence too. I mean, making that catch low on the left side and scoring with the costado to tie it up, that was big for him.
Doesn't throw a lot of shots,
right.
But that was really well done. Very well executed.
Yeah, let's see how he plays coming out here, ready to go with our third and decisive set.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready to begin our third and final set of this match. The first team to reach 6 points wins the first match of the evening. Ichibide will have the serve for the Chargers. Backhand by Lopez. There's the backhand. Beautiful catch by Lopez in the backcourt. Here's Iturbide from the 9 line. Hard to the inside, passing the backcourter. Robote forehand by Ikeda. Ball dropped in the backcourt. First point of the third decisive set goes to Ikeda and Lopez of the Cyclones. Ikeda serves.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion there. Looked like for the Chargers, didn't know whether Iturbide was in the range back for it. Ubia was advancing. The last second just tipped it, trying to take it in on his left side. Couple mistakes here late. Chargers have to regroup.
Ubia powerfully from the forehand, keeps it low and hard. Lopez is there. Lopez powerfully from the right side. Here's Ubia. Beautiful catch by Iturbide. Lopez sets, backhand from the 11 line. Powerful backhand, this Robote coming all the way out. Robote forehand by Ikeda, beautifully played and passing right at the side wall. Iturbide makes the save. Here's the backhand by Lopez. The right side, this one caught by Iturbide. Drop shot, read by Ikeda. Enough to catch it on the forehand. Forehand right to the corner. Juggling on the catch of Ikeda. We're all tied up 1 point apiece. Iturbide serves for the Chargers.
Juggling was the call there by Ikeda, front judge. Thought that the ball came out of the basket. Ball has to maintain contact at the base of that basket at all times. And breaks the plane. Judge makes the call. 1-1. We're tied up.
Beautiful serve by Iturbide. Here's the backhand by Lopez. Backhand. Lopez is there. Backhand from the 11 line. Here's Lopez from the 9 line. Powerful backhand, goes wall to wall. Robote forehand by Iturbide. Ikeda, eye on the ball, 2-all. Lands in and scores.
The Cyclones caught a bit of a break. Iturbide expecting that ball to kick off the court. Definitely was going to land in and went for a high bounce scoop as opposed to taking that in the air on his right side. Always want to take the ball in the air in this sport. Whenever possible, it makes life a lot easier.
Would be on the catch. Forehand. Robote forehand saved by Ikeda. Powerful, powerful backhand. Robote comes all the way to the 4 line. Turned on the forehand of Ikeda. Lopez on the right side from the 11 line. Passing. Robote, left side. Big bounce. Brought down by Lopez on the forehand. Forehand by Lopez. Picked up by Ubia. Lopez, beautiful catch overhead at the 12 line. Iturbide, backhand from the 9. Backhand by Ubia. Backhand 2-all caught in the air by Lopez. Rebote forehand by Ikeda. Laid up. What a catch by Lopez at the back wall. Rebote saved by Ichibide. Beautifully done. Here's Ikeda. Scopes out the court. Harden inside. Ubia is there. Catch by Lopez. Backhand. Beautiful catch down low by Lopez. There's the forehand. Lopez takes it on the right side. Forehand over the top. Ubia, backhand. Rebote forehand by Ikeda. Ubia is there. This backhand's from the 8 line. Low runner. What a catch by Lopez. Ubia, powerful, powerful backhand. Rebote's coming all the way to the 3 line at the side wall. Safe play to the inside. Ubia is there. Rebote. There's a catch by Lopez. Rebote left side. Ikeda attacks, has it on the forehand. Outside placement is read by Ichibide. The carom is read by Ikeda. Ikeda hard to the inside and crossing where it scores. Tremendous play by both front quarters. The Cyclones get the point.
Ichibide going for the carom from the outside. Look at Ikeda though. He was on the move, never stopped. Full sprint out there and back over the top. That's tough. You either got to get out there for the rebote or catch that ball as it's crossing the side wall. And Cyclones controlling this third set again. But remember, they held a 3-1 lead in set number 2. Chargers were leading 4-3. Got to be able to close out matches here. See if the Cyclones can do so.
There's the backhand by Ubia. Big, big bounce. Picada will score 2 points for the purple shirts. Ichibide and Ubia. Ichibide serves.
And that's just a matter of communication. Either got to cut that ball off in the air, or if you know it's going to hop over your back quarter, just get in position and turn a tough rebote. The Chargers with the break, just a 1-point deficit now.
Beautiful catch by Lopez off a good serve by Ichibide. Lopez again, this time pulling it from the side wall. Big backhand, caught by Ubia. Lopez deep in the backcourt, backhand from the 12 line. That ruled to have touched the overhead screen, which is out of play. 3-3, we're all tied up. Ichibide serves for the Chargers.
Gets pretty close up there, that overhead screen, but front judge saw a little bit of movement up there with the net. Just has to touch any piece of that overhead screen and the ball is out of play.
There's a backhand by Lopez. Rebote, left side. Lopez, Costalo Rebote tipped by Ichibide. 4 points for Ikeda and Lopez. Ikeda serves.
I mean, that's 2 rebotes now that Lopez has played that the Chargers have missed on the return. Throws it powerfully low. I hooked that one a little more to the outside than he would have wanted, but very effective. Breaks the tie. They lead it 4-3.
Backhand by Ubia. Here's Lopez. Backhand from the 12 line. That ball drops coming off of the back wall. 4-4 is the score. Ichibide serves for the Chargers. A reminder, the scoring in Battle Court First team to reach 6 points wins the set. First team to win 2 sets wins the match.
And that's happened a few times to the Cyclones. Lopez stepped out of the way into Robote, just not making it to Ikeda.
Beautiful catch by Lopez, pulling that off the side wall. Spot on. Big right side by Lopez. Big backhand. Iturbe. Robote forehand by Ikeda. Here's Lopez, powerful backhand to the inside. Ubia goes deep. Robote forehand to the inside. Ubia is there. Robote forehand by Ikeda is hooked from the right side and hits the pad. 5-4 in favor of the Chargers. It is possible match point.
Chargers had an opportunity in set number 2. Let's see if they can close it out now.
Here's the backhand by Lopez to the inside. Good catch by Ubia. Lopez again, backhand from the 12 line. Ikeda calls for the Robote. Makes a save from the right side. Ubia looking for the Robote. Saves on the left side. Catch by Ikeda. Ikeda hard to the inside. Robote dropping. Lopez calls for the catch. Throws it low and hard to the inside, and Ubia is there. Backhand by Lopez. Here's Lopez from the 12 line. Big right side to the inside. Ubia missed it.
Wow.
And gentlemen, we've gone the max points. It is 5-5. This is match point. The winner of this point wins the match.
Again, perfectly placed, crossing the side wall. Difficult catch for Ubia. Rather unfortunate, one of these teams is going to come up on the losing end of this one. Back and forth. See the Cyclones ownership up there in the box. See the Chargers owners. This point will decide it, Stu.
Ball cuts back to the inside. Robote caught by Iturbe. Lopez, Robote, nicely played. Here's Iturbe. What a catch by Lopez at the 9 line. Low runner, caught by Iturbe. This ball gets by Lopez and scores. Point set in a hard-fought match for Iturbe and Ubia, winning the third and decisive set, 6-5.
As soon as that highlight ball leaves the cesta, you can't blink because every second is packed with action. Keep up with the world's fastest ball sport all game day long with bets on the matches, the sets, and each individual point. Find your favorite team or player and get in on the action with DraftKings, the official sports betting partner of the World Jai-Alai League. The crown is yours.
And so with that win, the first points of our game day go to the Chargers, courtesy of Iturbe and Ubia. A thrilling 3-set match down to the decisive 11th point of that third set. We're going to hear from our winner, Stu, in just a moment.
Tremendous play by all 4 players there in that first match.
Now where the Chargers are ready to go, there they are, second-ranked team.
Very good, very good. Ha sido un partido muy difícil
It was a very difficult
y
match.
al final se ha decidido en el último tanto.
At the end, it came out.
Contento por el equipo, empezar fuertes y a seguir.
We did it for the team, and that's it. Ubia, tell me a little bit. You guys lost your first match. How were you guys able to do such a good rebound on the second match out here tonight?
Well, actually, in the second set we lost. They just came out strong. The ball was a little bit hotter. Tough decisions for the judge. Some of them fell in our favor, others not. But then in the third one, we came out with everything we had. Luckily enough, we were able to win, add some points for the team, and start off for a great night. Thank you very much.
And we thank Iturbide and Ubia. Coming up next, number 1 ranked singles match. Top players on these two teams going at it. For the Chargers, number 54, Zuleika. And for the Cyclones, it's the captain, number 17, Manu. What a performance last time out for Manu, defeating Gojeri, who came in with a 13-match winning streak. Looked so good last time out. Zuleika, kind of the opposite. Slow start against Hyro and actually lost that one in straight sets.
Both Zuleika and Manu playing really at the top of their games right now. Zuleika up against Manu. If Manu's playing like he was last week, he can definitely take it, no question about that, but Zuleika's got that explosive 2-all that he seems to break out at will. Again, no real way to call this in terms of purple or blue. Not sure if the Cyclones or Chargers are going to take this point, both definitely capable of doing it.
Zuleika 1-1, 2 singles matches this season. Manu, just that one match against Gojeri, which he won. I mean, for a backcourter, it doesn't get any tougher than Manu, though. He's got a bunch of shots, he's got a lot of power, and he's got the 2-wall. I mean, hard to say could match Zuleika, but certainly an effective one nonetheless. Just a few seconds away, we'll introduce our top-ranked singles matchup here. Zuleika, purple, Manu in the white. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin our second match of the evening, a top-ranked singles match. Representing the Chargers, we have number 54, Zuleika. And for the Cyclones, we have number 17, Manu. There's a serve. We begin. Igrabote coming out, left side of Manu, plays it back inside Zuleika on the bounce at the 9 line. Here's Manu now. Higher and harder, trying to get it to pass, and he does. Forehand Bote by Zuleika. Manu takes it off the sidewall. Another backhand. Here's Zuleika from the costado. It's a 2-wall.
Beautiful.
And that's thrown to score. Zuleika first up on the board in our second match.
I was talking about that before we began. One of the goals in highlight, throw the ball where your opponent's not. Second goal, score 1 more point than your opponent. I know that kind of goes without saying, but players who have the ability to throw shots like that tend to do better. Remember, you got to land it within that outer boundary line there on the ground by the judges. Zuleika did a beautiful job of doing that.
Well-placed serve, good catch by Manu before it crosses the sidewall. Here's the Rabote, the rebound off the back wall. That sails in the overhead screen and out of play.
One question frequently comes up, how does a player do that? We see them throw hundreds of balls between a practice and a match. You'll see them throw at least 100 balls. How does he hit the overhead screen? Trying to get it above his opponent's head, trying to pass his opponent. It's a balancing act. He's got to try to get it to the back wall or get it at least over his head, but keep it away from the overhead screen.
Zuleika on the left side. Manu ranging back forward. He's got it in the air. Hard one back in the corner. Zuleika, forehand Rabote. Manu lobs another one up. Zuleika, forehand saved to the inside. Manu advancing, backhand from up at the 8. This one gonna come shooting off the back wall, lined up. Powerful Rabote, 2 pass. Manu 2-wall. Zuleika stops it on the forehand, opens up for the carom. but that caught the pad. Any part of the pad is bad. That ball was out of play. 2 points for Manu. Backhand by Zulaika. Manu not going to let that one pass. He's got it. Big backhand follows. Rebote forehand. Into the inside. One got by. Manu on the backhand. Turns to Rebote. Got it to pass. Zulaika now comes back for it. Drops it inside. Manu. Behind the 8 line. Here's the backhand. Not a lot on that Rebote. Zulaika digs it out. Manu forced to scoop it up. To the outside.
Beautiful.
The Philo scores.
Man, beautiful. You saw him take a little bit of an extra half second, maybe second, to line that up. Watch this. Makes the scoop. Here he's taking the second. Beautiful.
Here's Zulaika on the left side, backhand. Manu again reaching up overhead on the hop. Here's a backhand, this one passing. Clears the overhead screen, Zulaika up at the 7 line. Blast that, Rebote wall to wall. Manu straight to the outside, and that's out of reach.
Look at Manu go. One shot after the next after. What do you mean by shots? Exactly what we're talking about. When you're not playing catch, you're throwing shots. Look at this. You can throw it right back to him or throw it safely to the inside. The outside placement of the forehand Rebote on slow-mo. That's why it's a shot. Nowhere near his opponent. Change things up. Beautifully executed by Manu. This is the Manu that we saw last week.
Zulaika, hard backhand, is in the overhead screen. 5 points. Manu's got a possible set point.
Again, Zulaika just trying to get that ball over his opponent's head. But got to keep the overhead screen in mind in that case. Overhead screen out of play, just like throwing it out of bounds.
Strong backhand. Manu on the Rebote, forehand. Play to the inside. Here's Zulaika on the Costado. Oh, that caught the corner. Manu scooped it up. Straight to the inside. What a
catch.
scoop on the left side of Zulaika. One-handed play. Here's Manu now at the 10 line. Passing again. Zulaika lines it up. It's a 2-wall. That's too wide. Point and set. Manu takes it 6-1. 2 minutes. We'll play set number 2. Wow. Well, you said it, Stu. I mean, that's the Manu we saw last week against the Renegades. If he plays like this, it's going to be a problem for these number 1 competitors.
There we are in the ESPN 3 Players Cage. Players come back here to take their breaks between sets where they have 2 minutes. Also warm up for the upcoming match. See Zulaika getting off to a fast start with a beautiful 2-wall off the Costado.
I mean, can't defend that one. And then these
Outside
flurry of
placement.
shots
I mean,
from Manu.
just beautifully executed.
That one straight to the outside from the Costado. He shows you he can do it from the forehand as well, off the Rebote.
Get a little look there behind the scenes. You see players that are getting ready to come out, and some players from opposing teams sitting back in the players' pit. There we are back in the ESPN 3 Players Cage. You see Ikeda coming off of a nail biter. I think he was about to bite his nail too, so.
And we see the Cyclones there. Manu taking the first set 6-1. Looking to improve to 2-0 some of the best singles play we've ever seen. There was one summer, Stu, a few years ago, some head-to-head competition where Manu had an undefeated record. I think he was like 10 or 11-0. I think that's the last time we saw Manu in this type of form.
There's no question that 2024 so far has been a fantastic start for Manu. Playing really seriously, one of the best catchers on the roster, but the shot's been landing in perfect.
We're ready to begin set number 2. Zulaika will serve to Manu. Served by Zulaika, we begin set number 2. Backhand into the corner, he's got to come back for it, just lays it up. Manu trying to get there, he will not before the second bounce. Zulaika, it's the first point of our second set.
For anyone who may be new to the sport of highlight, ball can only bounce once after it's thrown. Opposing player has to catch it in the air, or if they catch it after the first bounce, can only bounce one time. The drop shot there, playing it just a little lightly in front of your player, forcing him to move up. Well played by Zulaika.
Powerful serve. Here's Manu on the left side. There's a backhand just out of reach. Zulaika looking for it on the rebote. Wall to wall on the return. Manu keeps it inside. Good catch by Zulaika. Takes it off the numbers. There's a backhand. Manu not letting that one pass. On the hop, Zulaika. Clean miss. Forehand rebote. Back to the left side of Manu. He's got the costado. Back up the middle. Zulaika to scoop it up. The
Beautiful.
2-wall is thrown to score. 2-0 lead. Big bouncing serve in the corner. Here's Manu. Relote forehand. Zulaika powers it to the inside. That passes. Manu on the left side. Keeps it on the numbers. Good catch by Zulaika to cut it off. Manu, that 2-wall lands in. Zulaika stops it, but grabbed the net
Hand on the
with his
screen.
off hand.
Left
That
hand.
is a foul. Point to Manu of the Cyclones.
Left hand on the screen. So, incidental contact. In other words, your hand grazes against the screen. That's one thing. You can't use it to settle yourself or balance yourself.
and look at
you
this.
can't grab on. He does a good job right until there.
Yeah, that.
Right until there, exactly. He was aware of it. You could see the way he was keeping his hand away from it, but just then nature tells you, you've got to hold on. Judge explaining it to him in the call.
Backhand by Zulaika. The carom is out.
2-2.
Here's Zulaika. Backhand to the inside. Rebote coming out. Manu back over the top. Zulaika on the costado. Inside placement. Got him. Manu on the left side, there's a backhand. Rebote, forehand. Manu stops that one overhead. He's got it at the 11 line, another backhand. 3 walls. Manu going down to the 4, digs it out on the number. Zulaika into the Costado splitter. Manu not going to get back there for the rebote. 4-2 lead for Zulaika.
Zulaika doing an excellent job turning things around here. Beautiful placement of the ball to the inside. Really well done.
A great rebote, but gave it to Zulaika on the Costado. A lot of options from there. He's able to kill the point. Manu from the left side, there's a backhand into the corner. Rebote, forehand from the 8 line, powered, just does clear the overhead screen. Manu now puts it up the middle. Zulaika on the bounce, fake the carom, drops it inside. Manu looking to get back in there. He does, it's a 2-wall.
Too much.
That's too wide. Zulaika with 5 points, he's got a possible set point.
So Zulaika getting back in there to make a rebote that looked like he wasn't going to be able to make, but he got there. Try to turn it into a kill shot, that 2-wall landed wide.
Full serve, better catch there by Manu. Back in out of reach, Zulaika on the rebote, left side, laid up. Manu backs to the 12 line, controls it, lobs this one up. Just does clear the overhead screen. Zulaika forehand rebote. Wall to wall, Manu trying to get back out there. He whips it outside where it scores. Keeps the set going, 3 points for Manu, still possible set for Zulaika.
Manu's got sneaky power, not really sneaky power, he's got sneaky speed and sneaky shots. Look at this one. Last time he did it from the forehand to the outside, this time from the left side of the outside, from the Costado. Lands in just beautifully.
Here's Manu from the left side at the 10 line. This one lobbed up. Zulaika on the rebote, forehand, keeps it inside. The scoop is missed. Point and set. Zulaika takes it 6-3. We're going to a third set in just 2 minutes. Second match of the day, second match that takes us to a third set. Zulaika a little more aggressive right from the jump, taking control of those points. Manu on the defensive and really couldn't get anything going. Outside of a couple of exceptional shots, that set number 2 was all Zulaika. And top-ranked singles players this season will play against the same ranked opponent 2 times. Every other singles rank will play against their same ranked opponent just once. So this will be the first of 2 matchups here between Manu and Zulaika. Such a fun group to watch in the power, the shots, the athleticism. Just great highlight every time they take the court, regardless of the team. Got some replays coming up right here. Manu, Costado to the inside. Look at this scoop by Zulaika. Can't give him the ball in the middle of the court. Way too much space. Shoots a 2-wall. Manu caught guessing. This one, he keeps it to the inside, forcing Manu to defend the entire width and length, really, of the court. This rebote shot straight to the outside. Really nothing Zulaika can do. Kept his composure, still leading 5-3. This rebote, I mean, that's well placed to the inside, forcing a third set. We are ready to begin our third and decisive set. Manu will serve to Zulaika. There's a serve. Our third set is underway. Big backhand by Zulaika. Ball to wall. Clears the overhead screen. Manu drops it inside. Here's Zulaika. Backhand from the 9 line. Trying to get it to pass and does. Forehand Bote. Back over the top. Here's Zulaika. To wall, but that's too low. Manu on the board first in our third and decisive set.
Zulaika scoped it out, saw where Manu was standing. Felt the 2-wall was in order. Probably was, because Manu was all the way back about the 9-10 line in mid-court. So if he snaps a good 2-wall, that's going to go out. You see, he threw it pretty hard and pretty low. Just too low, caught the pad.
I said any 2-wall probably lands in and opens up.
Except the one that hits the pad.
Yes.
With the exception of that one.
Robote left side, 2-wall shot by Manu. Zulaika stops it. Zulaika back to the inside where it scores. Hard forehand ties it up. 1-1.
It's the overall conservative play here by Zulaika and Manu. We have seen a lot of shots, but for the most part, both players playing it safe. Not wanting to give away any points through unforced errors.
Manu from the left side. Strong backhand right in the corner. Zulaika just lays it up. That ball is out of play. 2 points for Manu. Zulaika on the left side. Here's Manu, takes it off the side wall. Powerful backhand. Here's the Robote, comes shooting out. Zulaika powers it back over the top, cutting inside. Manu just does get there before crossed again. Zulaika on the Costado. 2-wall opens up to score. 2-2. Zulaika serves.
Manu got a start. But Zulaika just pushed it, went all the way out.
There's a backhand by Manu at the 11 line. That comes shooting out. Zulaika powers it again back into the corner. Manu Robote straight outside. Zulaika stops this one. Good read. Powers it back to the inside. He's looking for the Robote. What a save by Manu. Here's Zulaika. Inside placement. Manu read it. Caught it in the air up at the 7. There's a backhand. Low into the corner. Not
what a
lot on
man.
the Robote. What a turnaround by Manu. He gets the point and leads. 3-2.
Manu moved up, not scooping it, going to catch it in the air. It was down low. And then the presence of mind to throw it low to the back wall and not feed the Robote. This is a beautiful catch and throw by Manu.
Look at this read. I mean, he's moving back to the inside.
He's up, looking to go to the inside, catch it in the air. And then boom, don't overthrow it. Don't feed the Robote. Beautiful, beautifully executed by Manu.
Well-placed serve. Here's Zulaika. Powerful backhand. Manu up at the 5 line. Drops it to the inside. One dropping low. Zulaika lays it up. But that hit the rail just above the front wall. Also out of play. 4-2 lead.
Some of those up near the overhead screen are very difficult to see, especially if you're a judge and you're responsible for looking at those. You have lights up there, you have AC that basically blows the overhead screen and makes it move a little bit. That one, fortunately, the ball changed direction when it touched the overhead screen.
Zyka, low hard backhand. Manu stops this one in the air. This one just out of reach. Rote comes shooting out. Zulaika powers it wall to wall. What a return. Manu on a knee, keeps it to the inside. Here's Zulaika. She's going to try to pass with the backhand. Forehand back over the top. Zulaika, great scoop. There's a backhand. Manu now over the 9 line. This one again. High and hard. Zulaika straight to the outside. Manu not going to get to it. Zulaika gets his 3rd point.
Outside placement of the forehand. Robote, you see it here on the replay. Throw the ball where your opponent's not. Manu was close. Jai-Alai, like so many other games, a game of inches.
Backhand inside. Here's the Robote on the forehand. Just does lay it up. Manu charging on the Costado. It's a 2-wall. That is too low.
Not necessarily his shot.
4-4 is the score.
Manu does not throw a lot of backhand 2-walls. Does not throw a lot of Costado 2-walls. And that one is trying to throw in a particular way. Meaning that he was trying to throw it soft enough so that Zulaika would not be able to move up on the ball because he knew it wasn't going to open up that much. Instead, wound up hitting the pad.
Powerful serve. Here's Manu on the left side. Hard backhand. Dropping low. Zulaika comes back for it. Lays it up. Here's Manu again on the Costado. Straight to the inside. Zulaika not falling forward. He scoops it up. Manu again. Keeps it inside. What a scoop by Zulaika there between the 7 and 8. Bote left side. Here's Zulaika now on the Costado. It's a 2-wall thrown to score. Zulaika leads 5-4. He's got a possible set and a possible match point.
We are in the 3rd and final set here. Reminder, the scoring in Battle Court. First player to reach 6 points wins the set. First player to win 2 sets wins the match. You see Zulaika winding up, throwing this shot, supremely confident. And he's got every reason to be. That was beautifully executed. Manu knew it. You just say, I mean, that's a
tough look.
That's a dejected look on Manu's face there.
Hard serve. Manu stands in there. The backhand right into the corner. Forehand Bote, low and hard. Manu letting it pass. Then he digs it out on the back end. Zulaika on the Costado. The 2-wall thrown to score for the win. Point, set, and match. Zulaika takes it in 3 sets, winning the final set 6-4.
So there we have Zulaika winning the 2nd match of the evening, Division I singles match between Zulaika and Manu.
And let's take a look. 2.5 points already for the Chargers. Cyclones looking to get on the board. Perhaps Ikeda and Bueno up next can do so. Their opponents, El Barba and Benny. See where all 6 teams stack up in our season there at the bottom. Chargers now tied with the Renegades for first place. Got to keep in mind a full season will be 15 game days for every team, 6 matches per game day. Everything will even up at the end of the season. We're going to hear from our winners. Zuleika. It looked like Manu had control of that match, came out strong. Great opening set, but Zuleika came back in sets 2 and 3. What a big win for the top-ranked player of the Chargers. Here he is, Zuleika.
All right, Zuleika, congratulations on winning that match. Your record right now is 1 win and 1 loss. How are you staying on track going forward this season?
I'm feeling very tired, exhausted, physically exhausted, mentally very happy. We gotta continue fighting. This is a long season, more difficult season. The league is getting better and better. The level is increasing, so the demand as well. So happy for the win and looking forward. Thank you. Let's go Chargers.
And coming up next, Stu, 5th ranked doubles matchup. Let's see the teams for the Chargers. It is El Barba and Benny for the Cyclones, Ikeda and Bueno.
If you think El Barba looks funny in that graphic, you should see him in person.
Well, we saw him out there on the court last time out, mid of the mix, some highs, some lows, some great shots up there in the front. But he and Ubia came out on the losing end of that match against CRB and Robin. He's got Benny now behind him, a little bit higher ranked backcourter. But this is a tough Cyclones team, an experienced Cyclones team, and Ikeda and Bueno played together last season back here in spring 24. 0-1 through their first match. They're eager to get that first win.
You got to think that El Barba is going to be breaking out the shots like he did last week. I mean, he threw shot after shot after shot. Drop shots, outside placement, successful rebotes. El Barba picking up the game as part of the original 2018 Magic City roster. Picked up the game at 39 years old. Never saw a highlight cesta before his 39th birthday. And has just done a tremendous job. The older you are, when you pick up highlight, generally the more difficult it is. By the same token, in 1999, I believe, not 1999, when Barba picked up in the cesta in 2018, Benny, I believe, was 16 years old.
I think that'd be accurate. I believe these two shared a residence together once upon a time as well. El Barba and Benny, the former roommates, back as a doubles team here for the full spring 24 season. Let's get this one started.
Barba plays with such good passion. Be curious to see what happens here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin our third match of the evening, a 5th ranked doubles match. For the Chargers, we have the team of El Barba and Benny. And for the Cyclones, it's the team of Ikeda and Bueno.
El Barba serves, we begin. Here's Bueno from the 9 line, backhand. Scoop by Benny. Backhand by Bueno to the inside. Benny takes it in the air, backhand from the 10 line. El Barba, backhand to the inside. El Barba down low, backhand from the 7 line to the inside. Rebote, that's the rebound off the back wall. Played by Ikeda. Beautiful catch by Bueno. Here's the backhand. Ball tipped on the left side of Bueno. First point of this match goes to the Chargers. El Barba and Benny. El Barba serves. Reminder, the scoring in Battle Court. First team to reach 6 points wins the set. First team to win 2 sets wins the match. Fine serve by El Barba, caught by Bueno in the backcourt. Ikeda, backhand from the 8 line. Benny's there. Benny on the right side. Caught by Ikeda, back at the 10 line. El Barba with a missed ball on the forehand. We are tied up. 1 point apiece. Ikeda serves.
A bit of a slow start for El Barba up there in the front. Usually pretty solid on the catch. When he gets that ball on the outside, he kills the point at a pretty high rate. Cyclones have to be careful of that. Rare early miss for him.
Fault underserve. Battle court rules allow for 2 serves. Second serve must be good. Good serve lands between the 4 and 7 line. There's Robote forehand by Penny. Here's the catch by Ikeda. Scoop high on the forehand of Bueno. Hard to the inside. Benny keeps it on the left side. Big backhand. Robote coming out. Ikeda, split placement. Robote caught in the air by El Barba. El Barba hard from the costado to the inside. Bueno is there. Robote forehand. This one caught by Ikeda. Ikeda sends it back. There's a backhand by Bueno. Robote left side by Benny to the inside. Bueno going for the scoop. Clean miss in the back. Here's the backhand by Bueno. Backhand by Benny. Robote forehand by Benny. This one caught by Ikeda. Ikeda sends it deep. Robote, the rebound from the back wall comes to the left side of Benny. Catch in the backcourt, almost. Ball tipped. El Barba and Benny are on the board with 2 points. El Barba serves.
Got right 2 misses on that left side of Bueno, usually his preferred side. And El Barba's got one of the tougher serves on this roster as well. Throws it towards the front part of the service box, just beyond the 4 line. Forces the opposing backcourter to move up, and it's tough to line it up that low as you're moving forward.
There's a backhand by Benny to the inside. Bueno's there. Robote forehand. Catch by Benny on the right side at the 11 line. Hard to the inside he goes. Bueno's there. Robote left side. El Barba gets in there. Backhand from the 7 line. Split placement. Stopped in the air by Ikeda. Here's Benny. Backhand to the outside. Caught by Ikeda. Ikeda passes. Powerful forehand by Benny. Robote coming out. Drop shot Robote. Benny moves in, has it on the left side. Winds up for the split placement. El Barba's out of the way. Hard throw. Benny makes the catch. Winds up. Drop shot into the pad, and the pad is bad. We're tied up at 2 points apiece. Ikeda serves for the Cyclones.
Everything but the finish there for the Chargers. Benny had it on the costado up at the 2 line. Not many opportunities for the backcourter to be throwing shots up that close towards the front wall. Just a bit low, Stu. Got to get a little more power. Have to make sure you reach the front wall. Don't want to give that point away with it, dropping it right in the pad.
Here's the backhand by Benny. Big backhand by Bueno. Robote, that rebound off the back wall comes out. Played by El Barba to the forehand of Bueno. Backhand by Benny. Robote again, this time by Ikeda. What a catch by Benny. Low and hard. Bueno's there. Backhand from the 11 line. Forehand thrown powerfully by Benny to the inside. Bueno switches from left to right to make the save. Here's Benny attacking at the 4 line. Placement to the outside. Ikeda reads it. Oh, hooked it. 3 points for the purple shirts. El Barba and Benny. El Barba will serve.
Just a smart shot by Benny up there in the front court. Safer play, and he knows that Ikeda prefers the right side rebote, so even if he does make a play on it, like he had there on the outside, you're not too worried about the return throw. Hooked that one out of play, giving the Chargers a 3-2 lead.
That ball is in and out of Bueno Cesta. 4 points for El Barba and Benny. El Barba serves.
You talk about that serve, such a weapon as a 6th-ranked player to be able to ace people.
Throws it sidearm, comes into the box, and then goes off the side wall, spinning. Tough to make that play.
Yeah, hard to control it in the basket.
There's the backhand. Here's the backhand by Benny. Benny will come out to make the rebote on the left side. Plays it high. What a catch by Ikeda. He cannot hold on. 5 points and a possible set point for El Barba and Benny. El Barba serves.
A nice patience there. Benny had a chance to take that in the air, elected to run around it, play the rebote on the back end, put it right on the wall, forcing a tough catch by Ikeda.
Ace for the win of the set. Point and set for El Barba and Benny. 2 minutes go on the board. We'll come back out and play our next set.
Real complete team performance there in the opening set by the Chargers. A couple of aces there by El Barba up in the front court. Benny controlling the pace of play in the back, all leading to that 6-2 victory. For Ikeda and Bueno, they finished last season very strong, but a slow start the fall of 2023 as well. Already this season, 0-1. Looking to avoid falling to 0-2. And this El Barba and Benny team, the last time outs to, I thought it was a 3-setter. Checking back here, yeah, 3 sets. They won the first set 6-2, like we saw right here, but then came back and lost the next 2, 5-6, and then 3-6. So it's just a matter of finishing for this 5th-ranked team. See the Cyclones there in the background. Ikeda already with that second match played today. Don't know if that's a factor for him. Worked awfully hard up in the front. In front of Lopez against Iturbide and Ubia. See the right of Ikeda, Carballo. Just one singles match for Carballo today against Benny. Be match number 5. Second set coming up in match number 3 right now. Cyclones. Ikeda and Bueno will have control of the serve.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready to begin the second set of this match. Ikeda will serve for the Cyclones. Here's the serve. We begin. Backhand by Bueno. Catch by Benny deep in the backcourt. Rebote forehand by El Barba on the top of the pad. Any part of the pad is bad. First point of the second set goes to Ikeda and Bueno. Ikeda serves.
Trying to turn that Robote low and hard. The right idea, just wrong execution.
Shots off the Robote are complicated, more complicated for some. But a forehand cortada Robote, I just prefer to think that he hooked it. There's a backhand by Benny. Robote coming out. Forehand carom Robote with a big bounce. Nice catch. Carambola stopped by Ikeda. Ikeda back to the inside. Benny's there. Robote by Bueno, trying to pass. Benny catches it in the air. Bueno, backhand from the 10 line. Benny missed the Robote. 2 points for Ikeda and Bueno. Ikeda serves.
Well, they're testing that left side of Ikeda. That's the second time. First match, he made a tough catch there. And this match, again, able to control it, get the Costado off. Cyclones able to close it out from there for this 2-0 lead.
Robote forehand by Ikeda. Big bounce. Benny brings it into 7 line. Catch by Ikeda. Backhand. Passing. Low to the back wall. Out to the Robote. Benny's there. Ikeda aggressively from the 5 line. Ball goes off the tip of Bueno Cesta in the back. That's a point for El Barba and Benny. El Barba will serve for the Chargers.
I'd like to see if Benny can get that ball back to Bueno. A couple of mistakes already now from both sides. He's not nearly as comfortable on the catch as we've seen him.
Here's the backhand. Backhand now by Benny. Catch in the air by Benny. Benny low and hard. Beautiful catch by Bueno at the 11 line. Juggling on the catch of Benny. That's a 3rd point for Ikeda and Bueno. Ikeda serves. They've been calling the juggling pretty tight tonight.
Second juggle already. You don't usually see it on those right side scoops, but must have saw something.
Robote forehand. Robote left side to the inside. Here's the catch by Benny. Backhand. That Robote is hooked on the forehand of Ikeda. 2 points for El Barba and Benny. El Barba serves.
And Benny trying to get the ball to that left side of Ikeda, but Ikeda countering, trying to run around everything, resulting in that hook. Trying to get to the outside so we can throw a forehand Robote. A lot easier to just line that one up on the left side, even if you sacrifice a little bit of power.
Powerful backhand, Robote coming out. El Barba, forehand Robote, safely turned right back. Here's Bueno. Backhand by Bueno. Robote, play to pass. Ikeda, Robote left side, 2-all. El Barba stops it on the forehand. Mid-wall placement, stopped by Bueno. Bueno from the forehand, low and hard. Here's Benny, backhand from the 10. Robote forehand, cortada by Benny. Bueno on the backhand. Robote coming in low. Benny makes the save. Robote saved by Bueno. Here's Benny from the right side. Cortada. Stopped by Bueno. Bueno on the forehand. 2 pass. Robote forehand. Here's the backhand by Ikeda. Robote, the rebound to the 9 line. Robote left side. Catch by Ikeda. Ikeda from the forehand, low and hard. Scoop by Benny. Robote forehand by El Barba. Catch by Bueno. Here's Benny. Forehand to the inside. Robote forehand by Ikeda. Ikeda, the big bounce, stopped by Ikeda behind the 9 line. Big bounce brought down by Benny at the 10. What a catch by Bueno, deep in the backcourt. El Barba from the 7 line on the right side. Powerful forehand. This one caught by Bueno. Bueno right up the middle, caught by Benny. Robote to the inside, beautifully played by El Barba. Nice high scoop by Bueno on the forehand. Ikeda in and out of the cesta. We are tied up at 3 points apiece. El Barba serves.
What a rally right there. Again, not going to see many shots from Ikeda up in the front court, but just would like to see him open it up and maybe test El Barba a little bit. Dating back to that first match, haven't seen really one true shot attempt by Ikeda, forcing his opponent to the outside. Going to be tough to win. You keep giving the ball back deep to the inside, let Benny to catch the ball in the air, play these Robotes. Not going to miss many.
Fault over serve. Battle court rules allow for 2 serves. Second serve must be good. A good serve lands between the 4 and 7 line. Ikeda picks a serve, big backhand. This Robote comes to the inside. El Barba's ready for it, nicely played. Bueno on the catch, backhand. Robote, left side. Catch by Ikeda. Beautiful catch by Ikeda. Backhand, cut off by Benny at the 8 line. Outside placement by Bueno will score. That's beautifully executed. 4 points for the blue shirts. Ikeda and Bueno. Ikeda serves.
Well, if the front court is not going to do it, back quarter, Bueno stepping up, shooting something to the outside, and caught El Barba napping. I mean, he's opened up, looking for that shot to cut off. He just found the little bit of space there was to the outside. Well done by Bueno.
Here's a backhand by Benny. Robote coming to the forehand of Ikeda. Outside placement scooped up by El Barba. Cortada on the return by El Barba. Robote left side. Here's a catch by Bueno. Catch by Benny. Benny from the 5 line. Catch by Bueno. There's the backhand. Robote forehand save. Ikeda, right side, right to Benny. Here's the backhand. Bueno down low, backhand from the 10 line. Beautiful catch by Bueno. Here's the backhand from the 11. Robote for El Barba at the side wall. He makes a save. Robote left side by El Barba, clips the side wall and goes out. 5 points and a possible set point.
Just a bit unfortunate there. That ball hit off the sidewall first. ultimately sailing wide of the court. And now Barba's been just about as good as you can expect up there in the front. Just really first miss, see if he can lock back into this.
There's a backhand by Benny. Ikeda, Karam, stopped by El Barba. Barba, hard throw. Bueno sets up the rebote. No one is there for the rebote. 4 points for El Barba and Benny. Still possible set point for the Cyclones.
There you see Ikeda testing him after that mistake. He stops it on the outside. What does he do? Powerful throw back inside, forcing a difficult rebote. Both Cyclones trying to get in position. Neither come up with it.
Backhand by Benny. Here's the catch. Backhand. Rebote forehand to the inside. Benny on the backhand. Bueno's there. Backhand to the inside. Good catch by Benny. Big backhand by Benny. Rebote forehand saved by Benny. Ikeda attacks, has it at the 4 line, rifles it inside, low and hard to score, point and set for Ikeda and Bueno. Third and final set will be up in just 2 minutes.
Third set gonna decide. Third match in a row, Stu. Back and forth we've been on this game day. So far though, the Chargers have come up on the winning end of all these third sets. See if that will hold true for the Cyclones. Change up the momentum and get some points. Going back with Ikeda and Bueno. See team captain Manu. Lopez as well. Is he constantly, even when not in the cage on the sideline, just talking through all these points, the communication, giving some strategy as well. I mean, these two backcourters in Manu and Lopez have like 40 years of highlight experience combined. Two of the best players in the world in their positions. And with this Chargers team, El Barba and Benny, we said, been a problem with closing games out, and holds true again in that second set. See some replays right here. And that really changed things up. At that point, it was
Outside
tied 3-3.
Yeah,
Bueno
really well
goes
done.
with the outside placement to break the tie. Here's Ikeda on the bounce. Shoots it right at Benny's feet. This is the cross of the side wall. Right under the cesta and scoring. 6-4 for this third and decisive set in just about 10 seconds.
Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Battle Court live from the Magic City League Fronton in Miami, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, ready to begin our third and final set for this match. Split set situation. First team to reach 6 points wins the match.
I look for El Barba to maybe do something with this first serve. Not get an underserve here, but at least force Bueno to move up. Start this set off right if he can land it just beyond the 4 line.
El Barba's first serve is good. Here's the backhand by Bueno. El Barba aggressively now from the 8 line. That clears. Backhand by Benny. Robote coming out. Backhand. That ball touched the overhead screen, which is out of play. First point goes to El Barba and Benny. El Barba serves.
El Barba aggressive coming out here to begin that third set, cutting it off on the inside. Difficult play. Beautiful backhand, just did clear the overhead screen. Then Bueno was the one that sent it up in there.
Fault, underserve. Battle court rules allow for 2 serves. Second serve must be good. Good serve lands between the forehand 7 line.
Maybe Ikeda looking to take this second serve. Haven't seen many attempts to pick this serve. El Barba, not the 6 you want to mess with though. Crossing the sidewall, right back to Bueno.
Ball tipped by Benny at the side wall. Tied up at 1 point apiece. Reminder, first team to reach 6 points will win this match.
Yeah, Benny committed to a right side catch, probably easier to his left.
Benny on the catch. Here's the backhand. Big right side to the inside. Robote by Ikeda. Bueno, in and out of the cesta this ball goes. 2 points for the purple shirts. Chargers, El Barba and Benny. El Barba serves.
They like that throw from Benny, crossing the sidewall back across to Bueno's forehand. Ball's got a lot of spin, tends to spin out of the basket like it did right there. But even if Bueno's able to make the catch, there's not much he's going to do with it on his right side compared to his left. He's got a little less power and a little bit less control.
Ikeda picks the serve. There's the backhand. Robote coming out. Robote forehand by El Barba. Wow. Turned wall to wall from the forehand. Ikeda sends this one deep. Benny makes the catch. Backhand. Benny's there. Big backhand by Benny. That's powerfully thrown. Robote, forehand to the inside. Low and hard, picked up by Bueno in the backcourt. Benny saves the Robote. Here's Ikeda from the 7 line. Forehand. Low and hard to the inside. Scooped up by Benny on the backhand. El Barba makes the catch. Bueno from the forehand at the 10 line. Robote forehand. Good catch by Benny. That ball is missed. Off the Robote. That is a 3rd point for El Barba and Benny. For the Chargers, El Barba serves.
Getting that Robote out to the left side of Ikeda, the key. Chargers able to do so on that final throw. Ikeda's about 100% in turning those right side Robotes, closer to about 60 or 70% from the left side. A lot less power too.
Bueno on the backhand to the inside. Benny, beautiful catch at the 12 line. Big backhand follows. Robote coming out. By Bueno. Benny backhand from the 8 line to the inside. Bueno's there. Low and hard by Ikeda. Robote from the 9 line by Benny. Caught by Ikeda. Ikeda's backhand to the inside. Robote for El Barba. El Barba with the Robote, passing the front quarter. Bueno's got it. Benny, Robote 2-all.
Oh, my.
Is beautifully executed and scoring. That was spot on perfect by Benny. 4 points for El Barba and Benny here in the third and decisive set. El Barba serves.
What a time to throw the 2-all off his footing on the Robote. Opened up. It's about as well as you could expect. Look at this. Side wall, front wall, and that ball is already by Ikeda. He's hoping it lands out. Just drops inside the boundary line. 4-1 advantage now for the Chargers. Cyclones have to find a way to put points up on the board. Ikeda has got a carom, an outside placement, split placement, just something. Move the defense around. Or Bueno too, we saw in the second set.
Here's the backhand by Bueno, picked up by Benny. Beautiful catch. Nice backhand on the return by Bueno. Backhand 2-all, caught in the air by Ikeda. Ikeda's 2-all, stopped by El Barba. El Barba, beautiful throw, nice pickup by Bueno. Bueno with a clip of the side wall, Robote coming out. El Barba calls for it,
Great
sends
call.
it to the inside. 2-all, stopped and dropped. Ikeda and Bueno in blue. The Cesta Cyclones have the serve.
And again, it's Bueno shooting something from the backcourt. Get a little momentum for his side. He's kind of ate El Barba up. I mean, he was great on that point everywhere. Good aggressive communication between he and Benny. Love that he called him off on that Robote. Good smart throw right at the opponent. Gets the Cyclones their second of this final set.
Beautiful catch by Benny off an excellent serve by Ikeda. Robote coming right up the middle. Forehand Robote by Ikeda. Robote left side by Benny. It's a split placement that
Nobody's
will
there.
score. 5 points, possible set, possible match point here for the Chargers in purple.
Another one here. Split placement. Ikeda turns to look for Bueno to take it on the right side. And nobody's there. Gotta let him know just a little bit earlier. Ikeda didn't look like he was going for it at all. Just gotta yell out to his back quarter. A little extra second to get out there in time.
He can even yodel if he wants.
Yeah.
Something to let him know that it's coming. Ikeda going for the serve, knocks it down. Point set and a hard-fought match. Going for El Barba and Benny of the Chargers, winning the third and decisive set, 6-2.
Bradley on the move, breaking, he got there. Blast the forehand, everybody out of the way, and Nicholas got hit. Gaucheri up in the front court towards the inside. What a scoop
What an
by
amazing
Douglas.
catch.
Gaucheri picks it up in the front court, whips it inside.
What
Another
another
one. And let's take a look at that game day scoreboard. Clean sweep of the points so far for the Chargers. That's 4 to the Cyclone 0. Perhaps Flores and Lopez hit the Cyclones on the board in our next doubles match. That will be a 4th ranked doubles. Before we get to that, we're going to hear from El Barba and Benny. There they are, 15 for the Chargers.
All right, Benny and Barba, congratulations on winning that match. Guys, talk about a rebound. On your last match, you guys were not able to secure the victory. What changed from the last time you played to today?
Yeah, really, we just need to stay consistent. We got off early in that first match against Hernandez and Cabrera, and we had him up, I believe it was 4-1 in the second set, and we let it get away. We just need to try and finish the match a little better, and that's what we did today.
Oh, Barba, your serve is one of the most difficult ones in the league. Tell me how you got your serve to be so good.
Well, one of my favorite desserts is ice cream. I really like chocolate and Rocky Road, and sometimes I like how do you say in Spanish, caramel. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We'll see what else happens on today's game day.
Thank you.
Gotta love El Barba there, and the way he's playing this season, Stu.
One of the best
could be
sixes.
frozen there, yeah.
One of the best sixes that's out there, no question about it.
I mean, the one thing you say about El Barba, some sixes go out there, you hope they don't lose the game. Well, El Barba's the one that he can go out there and really take it and get the win for his team. Certainly helped out right there.
Just saw a graphic up on your screen saying that up next is Iturbide and Bragley representing the Chargers going up against Flores and Lopez for the Cyclones.
Yeah, Iturbide and Bradley made their debut this past Tuesday against Jairo and Rock, one of the better fourth-ranked teams. Iturbide and Bradley showed what they're made of, coming out with a win. This is a tough team led by the second-ranked player, Iturbide, up in the front. Bradley behind him is a 5. It's just been a matter of staying healthy for Bradley throughout his career. When he's on the court, he's always effective. He's just got to stay there.
And it's going to be very interesting to see this matchup between Lopez and Bragley in that Lopez has seen everything there is to see in highlight. I don't know if he's seen movements quite like Bragley has in the backcourt.
I saw them practicing a little bit earlier today. Got a little bit of a closer view, but he's going to get the full experience. Just about 20 seconds.
Yes, Bragley has an unconventional style of play, one of the original 2018 Magic City highlight players. Just the fact that he and Lopez are on the court together, great sense of pride for this program.
Just about ready to begin fourth match of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin our fourth match of the day, fourth-ranked doubles. For the Chargers, we have the team of Iturbide and Bradley. And for the Cyclones, the team of Flores and Lopez. There's a serve. We begin. Lopez on the left side. Powerful backhand. 2-pass. Iturbide on the rebote. Keeps it inside. Bradley, nice catch there at the 12 line. Big backhand. Wall-to-wall. That opened up the Magic City bounce. Flores getting in there. Makes a diving save. Here's Iturbide on the drop shot. And he scores.
That's a difficult matchup there in the front court with Iturbide and Flores. Flores doing a decidedly good job there on the first point of staying in the play. Good communication between he and Lopez, something we didn't see the first time that they played.
The costado of Iturbide is going to be key in this match. If he can score from it, it's going to be a long night for the Cyclones. Well-placed serve. Better catch there on the left side. Backhand 2-wall. Caught in the air by Bradley. Good range. Soft touch on the forehand. Split him. Great control by Bradley. Brings the Chargers to a 2-0 lead.
Both Bragley and Iturbide doing a good job. Lopez trying to turn this into a kill shot off the backhand. Bragley got out there nicely. Just placed the ball inside and it scored. Well done.
Lopez puts it inside on the wall. Good catch there by Iturbide. High, hard return. Here's Lopez from deep in the backcourt. Drop shot. Flores running for it. He's not going to get there. 3-0 lead for the Chargers.
Flores has a habit of playing towards the outside of the court. He's played with some aggressive backcourters in the past who cover a lot more court than Lopez does. Lopez clearly capable of covering that court, just not his job, so to speak.
Well-placed serve again. Lopez comes up with it on the left side. Iturbide from the 9 line. Big backhand. Here's the rebote. Rebound off the back wall. Saved by Flores. Iturbide from the outside. It's a 2-wall thrown to score. What a shot by Iturbide. That's 4-0.
Yeah, that's a bit of a frustrating one. When you're Flores, you can't just lay the ball up. It was a nice save, but you can't just give Iturbide the ball in the middle of the court. Makes a decidedly good save here, but this ball is right in the middle of the court. Iturbide can go hard to the inside, he could go back, or he could do that, which is a 2-all that scores.
Here's Lopez again on the left side. There's the backhand. Bradley stops it. Powerful throw. Cutting inside. Lopez backing up, takes it in. Bradley now at the 12 line. Forehand sticks to the inside. Lopez, what a scoop in the backcourt. Low runner now. Here's Iturbide. Backhand. High and hard. Just out of reach. Flores comes back for it. He makes the save. Bradley at the 10 line. Puts it inside again. Little kick off the side wall. That one is tipped. 5 straight for the Chargers. They have a possible set point.
That's the second ball we've seen Lopez miss tonight, I think, between the first match and this match.
Rebote left side for Iturbide. That is missed. Cyclones keep the set going. Still possible set point for the Chargers.
There'll be no shutout. Cyclones on the board with a point. See what Flores does with the serve here.
Forehand comes up the middle. Flores looking for it. He makes a save with a big bounce. Bradley backing up at the 11 line. He's got it on the forehand. The sidearm. Karam is out.
They have some points to play with here, so don't necessarily mind Bradley throwing a 2-all from the 11 line. A lot of real estate and a few players in front of him, so you need to be careful with it, but
Bradley on the right side. Shoots it high and hard. Lopez just out of reach. Flores alone for the rebote. Shoots a 2-wall. Iturbide is going to stop this one. Iturbide back inside. Lopez scooped it up. Lopez now back to Iturbide where it's tipped. 3 points for the Cyclones.
beautiful hard throw here. Look at this scoop by Lopez. It looks effortless, but it is not without effort at all. And just thrown back so beautifully. Still possible set point for the Chargers in purple.
Bradley charging, hard forehand again. Flores, who that one died, he's not gonna make it. Point and set. Chargers win it 6-3, 2 minutes. We'll come back and play set number 2.
Yes, that went pretty fast. And Flores, again, doing some good defensive work. Offensively, though, not able to get anything going for the Cyclones.
Yeah, hard to keep up with Iturbide, one of the more aggressive front quarters as well.
But also, you can't, if anything, if you're going to throw it soft, throw it away from him.
Yeah.
Don't throw it soft to him. You don't want to do that. You can't give Iturbide the ball in the middle of the court and expect him not to kill you with it. Maybe he throws it off the court, but he hasn't been doing that lately. There we are in the ESPN3 Players Cage. Players come back here in between sets, also prepare for matches back here. There you see Bragley having a really good season coming back from knee surgery in 2023. And so far, so good. I mean, he's moving really well and playing terrific. And apparently there's enough time for a banana break.
Potassium there, Stu, just to fill you up.
Is the potassium or the banana sponsored? I'm not sure which.
We'll have to.
You have to look into that, Andrew.
Yeah, we'll get you that.
No unsanctioned bananas in the Players Cage.
We've seen, that's far from the most interesting thing we've seen in the cage. That gentleman, I think to the camera's right, Carballo, running a croqueta, I think, last year.
Did he?
Yeah, there was a colada, croqueta. It was a whole.
But he got it here, so it was a win-win.
Yeah, it worked out for him. Iturbide and Bradley looking to make it 2-0 on the season. Flores and Lopez, last time out they played without Lopez. Carballo substituted. This team as a whole 0-2. They're going to need to take these next two sets. Ready to go with set number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin our second set. Flores and Lopez have the serve. There's a serve. Our second set is underway. Backhand by Bradley. Here's Lopez on the forehand. Sidearm play cut off by Iturbide. Backed up to the 10. High hard one. Here's Lopez in the corner. Backhand dropping lower. Here's Iturbide cutting it off again. High hard backhand kicking up. Lopez takes it on the right side. Bradley, beautiful control. Backhand opens up to the middle of the court. Lopez shoots it low and hard. Iturbide out of the way. Bradley now, forehand. Placed back over the top. Lopez missed the scoop. Iturbide and Bradley tie it up. We'll get the first point, rather, of our second set. They lead 1-0.
Lopez does not miss many. That one coming in hard and fast, right at his feet, sending the apology wave to his front quarter for having missed it. I mean, he's missed now, I think, 3 balls on the evening.
Yeah, that's a tough scoop. Fault over serve. Second serve for Iturbide.
And if you've only missed 3 in the course of an entire evening, you're not doing bad.
Lopez from the 11 line opens up with the backhand. Bradley letting that one pass. Iturbide's got it on the back end. Lopez up at the 10 to the inside. Here's Bradley now. Lopez, low runner. Iturbide steps in to cut it off. High hard return. Just out of reach. Flores on the rebote. Puts it just above the pad. Iturbide. Drop shot. Drop to score. 2 points for the Chargers.
So Iturbide was winding up. Flores correctly moved to the outside. You have to be ready for that 2-all. Iturbide read it. Just took an extra half second to throw it. Decided to drop it inside. Lopez was lingering kind of far here in the back. Drop shot scores. Well thrown by Iturbide.
Lopez backhand. Bradley thought about it. Lets that one come out. Powerful rebote up the middle. Lopez puts it inside, low and hard. Bradley with a missed ball on the right side. Gets the Cyclones their first point of our second set.
Last week we saw Lopez adjust in the second and third sets that he was playing. Playing it a bit deeper, playing it to the perceived weakness of his opponents. See if he does the same thing here. That was a particularly hard thrown ball right at Bradley.
Iturbide cuts it off. The drop shot scores. 3-1 lead. It's a lot of court for the front quarter to cover when they're serving. Got to get in there, but
traditionally front quarter serves and goes outside to protect the 2-all. Back quarter has to cover the inside. In that
It's
case,
tough
that
to
was,
defend.
Yeah, that was a perfect throw by Iturbide. Very well done.
Lopez handles that serve, backhand to the inside. Good catch by Bradley. Little Magic City bounce, stays with it. Lopez deep in the backcourt, high and hard, clears the overhead screen. Iturbide backpedals, stops on the forehand, rifles it wall to wall. Here's Flores coming cross court, he lays it up. Big bounce. Iturbide settles at the 9 line, backhand, kicking up, out past Lopez, good defense in the corner. Iturbide backhand to wall, just out of reach, but Lopez on the backhand has the rebote. Drop shot. Scores for Iturbide, this time from the forehand.
This might be the best consistently that I've seen Iturbide play as far as shot selection and landing those shots. Just a beautiful job of reading his opponent's movement and dropping the ball where they're not. Very well done. 4. Number 97, Iturbide.
Bradley lines another one up, takes it off the sidewall. This one low and hard. Lopez, forehand, dropping inside. Iturbide coming cross court, good pickup. Hard backhand, kicking up and out. Flores alone for the rebote, makes a save. Iturbide again, this 2-wall is out. 2 points for the Cyclones.
Lopez trying to build the confidence of his front quarter. Moving up to him for a high five and a quick talk as Iturbide throws the ball out of play.
Sidearm Karam, opening up Iturbide. There's the drop shot. Flores trying to get in there. Could not control it. That's 5 points for the Chargers. Possible set, possible match point.
Iturbide just keeping these inside so beautifully. Flores, see, if I'm Flores, eventually I'm going to start what they call cheating to the inside a little bit more, but the risk of doing that is Iturbide starts snapping 2-walls or outside placements.
Lopez handles a serve. There's another backhand. Stopped overhead by Bradley. Bradley from the inside puts it on the wall. Lopez now from the 11. There's one out of reach. Rebote. Forehand missed. 3 points for the Cyclones. We'll extend the set here. Still a possible match point for the Chargers.
Flores has got to keep the serve away from Iturbide. Otherwise, I think we may see more of the same if he snags it. You can't lay a serve up and hope that your opponent's going to drop it in the pad or throw it off the court. You can't play hoping for the unforced error. Got to keep it away from him here on the serve, if you can. You could, Andrew. I know that. I know you could. I know you would. Good serve.
Bradley on the forehand, opens up high and hard into the corner. Be a tough rebote for Flores. He saves it to the inside. Iturbide, though, the 2-wall is too wide.
Way out. Yeah, that wasn't even close.
4 points for the Cyclones. Flores serves.
Certainly not being critical of Iturbide, who's played great, but that wasn't even close to being it.
Something was off on that timing, too. Not the way he typically throws that 2-wall and sailed way wide. Ball tipped by Lopez. Point, set, and match. Chargers close it out in straight sets, 6-3, 6-4. Iturbide and Bradley improving to 2-0. Second win in as many games. Flores and Lopez dropped to 0-3 with that loss. Chargers still clean sweep of the points, moving into our 5th match. Singles, Benny against Carballo.
there you have the Game Day score brought to you by DraftKings. See, total Game Day points, 5.5 for the Chargers. Cyclones so far shut out. We'll see what happens up here with Carballo. He's capable of making very interesting things happen. Season scores there along the bottom of the DraftKings scoreboard. The Chargers now out in front with 15 points. The Renegades 12. Still lots of highlight to be played between now and the end of our season in May. Don't forget the schedule. We are here every Friday at 7 p.m., Mondays at 5 p.m., and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. That's Battle Court, live from the Magic City Fronton in Miami, Florida. Before our next match, let's hear from Iturbide and Bradley.
All right, Iturbide, Bradley, congratulations on winning that match. This is your second win in a row. What is working within this team?
Sorry, say it again?
This is your second win in a row. What's working with it in this doubles team between you and
just
Iturbide?
focusing on fundamentals, backing each other up, and just hitting their weaknesses.
Yeah, my partner played very well, no mistakes, very hard, and very good match.
Well, guys, again, congratulations on winning that match. Let's see what else happens tonight.
Yeah, thanks.
And we thank Iturbide and Bradley. Coming up next, third-ranked singles matchup between Carballo and Benny. Both of these players have been third-ranked since we began Battle Court, now in our 5th season of play. Many singles matches against one another. Pretty even series overall. Benny, the youngest player on this roster, continues to improve. Maybe in his best form here in spring 24. And Carballo, tough to play against as a front quarter. Great range, great shots, and just difficult to match up against.
See the warm-up there occurs in 2-minute break in between, rather the 4-minute break in between points, gives the players a chance to warm up in advance of their matches. Especially if they played a match earlier in the evening, cooling down is not necessarily a good thing.
And for Carballo coming out for his opening match of the day, a bit of a lengthy wait here. Started at 7, about nearly 2.5 hours. Whereas Benny's coming off of a win, a little momentum. Played great in that opening match, caught about everything there was to catch in the corner. Threw a couple shots as well from the backcourt. Looking to make it 2-0 on this Friday night. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin match number 5, third-ranked singles. For the Chargers, we have number 55, Benny. And for the Cyclones, we have number 3, Carballo.
We're ready to begin our next match. Benny serves for the Chargers. Benny serves, we begin. Carballo advances to make that catch. Benny with the tip ball at the 10 line. First point goes to Carballo of the Cyclones. He serves.
What a great right side for Carballo. See the power there early on. Benny just trying to make a play on it over his head. Couldn't line it up.
Fault under serve. Battle Court rules allow for 2 serves. Second serve must be good. Good serve lands between the 4 and 7 line. Here's the catch by Benny. Benny back to the inside quickly. Carballo follows it, makes the forehand rebote save. Benny's there. Benny going for that three-wall play. Carballo, perfect positioning, rifles it hard. Benny's there. Benny low and hard. Scoop attempt is missed. All tied up. 1 point apiece. Benny served.
Have to give Carballo a lot of credit. Perfect position. Positioned himself perfectly. We'll try that for a third time. Still on the outside on that three-wall play by Benny. Good smart throw on the return, though. Found the space to the inside. Benny, his first point of this singles match.
There's a backhand by Carballo. Beautifully played to the inside. Rebote forehand by Benny. Low and hard, and Carballo is there. Carballo's 2-all. Bit wild. Hits the front pad low. Benny has 2 points, Carballo with 1. Benny serves.
He just hooked that 2-wall attempt, trying to throw it a little bit too hard. Don't know if that was ever the necessary height to reach the front wall. Benny a free point. 2-1 lead now for the Chargers captain.
Ball tipped off the serve. That was a beautiful serve by Benny. 3 points for Benny. He serves.
Got that ball to cross the sidewall deep in the backcourt. Carballo's either got to get in there before it crosses or line it up a little bit deeper in the backcourt.
Carballo advancing to take that on the right side. That ball is tipped off the scoop attempt. 2 points for Carballo. He serves.
Yeah, he was committed to taking that serve from the right side. In the moment it was out of Benny Sesta. Just got up there, powerful forehand. Got him his second point. See a little more confidence, a little more control with that right side. Power from both. So far, both points scored have come from the forehand of Carballo.
Here's the backhand by Benny to the inside. Rebote. Forehand by Carballo. Picked up by Benny. Benny on the backhand. Rebote forehand by Carballo. Benny goes deep. Carballo with the right side from the 9 line. Benny to the inside. Carballo, nice catch. Here's the backhand from the 11 line. To the outside, that lands in. Benny hooking it to the pad, and the pad is bad. We're all tied up, 3 points. Carballo serves. Here's the backhand by Benny to the inside. Rebote coming out. Rebote forehand by Carballo. Caught in the air by Benny. Benny powerfully from the right side. That's a tough pickup by Carballo behind the 12. Beautiful backhand follows. Cortada rebote stopped by Carballo. Carballo back to the inside. Benny on the run. He makes the save. Carballo takes it on the bounce. Hard to the inside. Scoop attempt miss. Rebote saved by Benny. Carballo hard to the inside. What a scoop by Benny. Rebote forehand. Quick bounce. Forehand by Benny. Carballo diving save. He got there, just lands it out of play. 4 points for Benny. He serves. Reminder of the scoring in Battle Court. Ladies and gentlemen, the first player to reach 6 points wins the set, and the first player to win 2 sets wins the match.
And great presence of mind here by Benny to look for that rebote after the clean miss. Got assessed on it, able to dig it out. Worked hard to get that 4th point.
Big right side by Carballo. $5 points for Benny. Possible set point.
Yeah, a bit of a slow start for Carballo. See if he can lock back into this match. He tends to either start off really hot or really slow. So far, you're seeing the latter here today. Benny looking to take this opening set.
Big right side by Carballo. Robote right up the middle. Carballo makes the catch, winds up. 2-all. Lands in and scores. That was beautifully executed by Carballo. He has 4 points. Still possible set point for Benny at the Chargers.
Few players throw the 2-all with as much power and conviction there as Carballo. Just landing inside the boundary line to score. If you don't get a head start, there's no chance to get out and stop it.
That ball is on the sidewall and scoring point and set for Benny of the Chargers. Benny wins the first set 6-4. We'll move on to our second set in just 1 minute.
Benny 6-4 takes out Carballo in set number 1. Got to win 2 out of 3 sets, though, to win the match. There was a time in Benny's game we saw a couple more 2-alls, a couple more shots, a little more conservative play here in spring 2024. Move the ball to the inside, utilizing that sidewall to his advantage, forcing some tough catches by Carballo. Made life so difficult, they actually missed a couple there in the back. But this isn't the time to take it easy. Carballo, as explosive as they come, he can rattle off 6, 7, 8 points in a row. Benny's got to stay locked in, and better to close it out right here. The longer Carballo stays on the court, you give him a chance, usually makes the best of it. Again, after this one, third-ranked doubles will close it out. Zuleika and Bradley against Bueno and Manu. So far, all points on the game day have gone to the Chargers. Iturbide and Ubia winning the opening doubles match, then Zuleika in singles, El Barba and Benny in that fifth-ranked doubles match. And just a few moments ago, Iturbide and Bradley over Flores and Lopez. Just about ready to begin our second set here. Players making their way out. Set number 2, ready to go. Carballo will have the serve to begin set 2.
We're ready to begin our second set. Carballo has the serve. Hard serve by Carballo. We begin. Here's the backhand by Benny. Robote coming out. Two all. Stop by Benny on the forehand. Will score on the return. Well executed by Benny. Benny has a point and the serve.
And Carballo just kind of going in there with one hand, trying to make a fancy catch as opposed to really trying to line it up and just make the play. Got to sacrifice the theatrics for just good, consistent play and keep the rally going. Great serve.
Excellent serve by Benny. Nice and hard and crossing. That is 2 points for Benny. He serves.
Right side of Benny's been precise on those cortadas and the serve. Crossing consistently there about the 11 or 12 line.
Robote 2-all, big bounce. Carballo with an early jump has it, blasted inside where it scores. Wow. Beautifully played by Carballo. He has a point and the serve.
Beautiful leaping grab on the outside. Also beautiful the way he ended that point, just above the pad, low and hard. 2 bounces before Benny could play it on the Robote.
Big backhand by Benny. Robote coming out. Powerful coast to the inside, scooped up by Benny. 2-all, stopped by Benny. Carom by Benny, beautifully executed and scoring. 3 points for Benny. He serves.
Yeah, smart throw by Benny. He knows Carballo wants you to throw that forehand hard back to him on the inside so he can make a spectacular catch. He was backing up, moving towards the inside. Then he threw it into the sidewall first, got the 2-all to open up and score.
There's a forehand by Carballo. Costi straight inside along the side wall, perfectly executed by Carballo. He has 2 points and the serve. Reminder, the scoring in Battle Court. First player to reach 6 points wins the set. First player to win 2 sets wins the match.
Yeah, look at where Benny is. His only hope was that ball to hit the sidewall first and open up back towards the outside. Once it stayed inside, a little dangerous for him to cross in front of Carballo.
There's a backhand by Benny. Robote forehand. There's a catch by Benny. Ball tipped. 4 points for Benny and the Chargers. He serves.
Another forehand crossing deep in the backcourt. Benny keeping it simple, but very effective.
Carballo, powerful costado, beautifully thrown to the inside. Robote forehand by Benny, hit the overhead screen, which is out of play. 3 points for Carballo. The Cyclones, he serves. Forehand by Carballo. Powerful forehand by Benny. Robote left side, clipped, scooped by Benny. Hard throw, scooped by Carballo. Carballo, powerful costado, high to the front wall, nicely played. There's a catch by Carballo. Another costado, this one caught by Benny. Benny to the inside, Carballo's there. Carballo, scooped by Benny, quick release. This one caught by Carballo. 2-all, caught by Benny in the air. The carom opens and scores. Beautifully played by Benny. That is possible set, possible match point for Benny.
A little wild at times when you play against Carballo, but love Benny's composure. He was standing in there making some tough catches. That first opportunity to kill the point, he took it and scored. Again, shooting a 2-all from the right side. That's the carom. 5-3 lead, looking to close out this match.
Ball tip, point set, and match for Benny, taking it in straight set, 6-4, 6-3.
2 wins for Benny on the game day. With El Barba in doubles a little earlier, now in singles. Responsible for 2.5 of the team's points so far today. One more to go. Zulaika and Bradley against Bueno and Manu. Just about 3.5 minutes. And let's take a look. 6.5 points for the Chargers. None for the Cyclones. Chargers up at the top of our standings. Cyclones down at the bottom. Chargers a little bit slept on coming into this spring 24 season. A lot of talk about the Renegades, the new look Warriors, but this is a Chargers team that won a championship with a very similar roster. Perhaps you can even argue improved at the 4 and the 5 from that championship team. And the 6. We're going to hear from our winner, Benny, 2-0 on the day. Here is the captain of the Chargers.
All right, Benny, congratulations on winning another match tonight. This was your first singles match of the season. How did you prepare for today?
Yeah, I went out there, first singles of the season. I felt a little bit rusty. The first set, honestly, me and Carballo didn't play that great, but I ended up getting the first set. But practice, you just need to get the reps in, really.
Well, Benny, congratulations again for winning that match. Let's see what else happens.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Good job, Benny.
The finale just about 2 minutes away. Let's see the teams for the Chargers, Zulaika and Bradley, and for the Cyclones, Bueno and Manu. Second season. Bueno and Manu have been together as a doubles team, best third-ranked team last season. And for the Chargers, Zulaika and Bradley, new team here in spring 24, yet to play an opening match. So just about a minute away from the finale, and 6.5 points to the Chargers already. Cyclones looking to get 1.5. That'd be Bueno and Manu. Bueno and Manu, their opening match was against Correa and Nicholas of the Warriors. Went in 3 sets. This team came out on the losing end, but you know they're going to be tough. Interesting matchup here. Bit of a mismatch in terms of the rankings, with the lower-ranked front quarter for the Chargers taking on the higher-ranked front quarter for the Cyclones. But you move to the backcourt. Higher-ranked back quarter for the Cyclones against the lower-ranked back quarter for the Chargers. Zulaika's been great today already, a singles win. Saw some great shots, going to need to do it again here to improve to 2-0 on the day. Let's close out this Friday night. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin our final match of the game day. For the Chargers, we have the third-ranked doubles team of Zulaika and Bradley. And for the Cyclones, third-ranked team of Bueno and Manu. There's the serve. Our final match is underway with an ace. Zulaika and Bradley first up on the board.
Ball came in fast and accurate. Very well done.
This serve coming up the middle. Here's Manu on the left side. Big backhand. Bradley going up. Nice play. Forehand to the inside. Manu gonna run around it. Verbote save. Cut off by Zulaika. There's a splitter. Manu stops it on the bounce. Manu, the sidearm carom. will score. 1-1. Cyclones tie it up.
Manu now doing a good job of throwing the ball where his opponent's not.
Great catch by Manu, takes it off the sidewall, powerful backhand. Here's the rebote. Forehand save, back over the top. Manu patiently waiting for it, keeps it to the inside. Bradley now from the 12. Powerful backhand, high and hard, just out of reach. Bueno in position, turns a forehand rebote. Zulaika, quick turn on the 2-wall. That is in and scoring.
That 2-all was working for Zulaika beautifully in the singles match that he played 3 matches ago. Still spot on.
Bueno takes the serve, drop shot. Zulaika's got it on the forehand. Zulaika, the 3-wall, lands in.
Wow.
And scores, rattling around in the cage. That's 3 points for the Chargers.
You want to talk about perfectly executed. We don't see that shot thrown quite that low. We'll see it loft into that particular position, but look how he moves up on this ball, takes a peek, looks where his opponents are, blasted. Front wall, side wall constitutes 2 walls, back wall constitutes the 3rd wall. That's a 3-wall play. Basically lands in, almost impossible to return.
Beautiful backhand, low runner by Manu. Catch by Bradley, takes it off the numbers. Beautiful backhand, clears the overhead screen. Bueno keeps it inside. Back to Bradley. Launches another one. Bueno on the move, stops at the 6 line, back up the middle. Here's Zulaika, drop shot. Manu from the backcourt, not gonna get up there. Well thrown. That's a 4-1 lead.
I'll tell you, Manu saw that coming. That's how well that drop shot was thrown. So what makes the droppier drop shot? It's basically, it touches the front wall and it's usually dead by the 2-line possible. Look at this. You see how he just kind of lofts it up there. Boom. Dying by the 3-line. That is just so beautifully executed. Manu saw it coming, took off. He was not able to get to it. Really well thrown by Zulaika.
Hard serve, here's Manu on the left side. There's a running backhand, stopped by Zulaika. Beautiful backhand, wall to wall. Bueno staying with it. Forehand rebote, back inside. There's Bradley taking off the numbers. Manu steps up, no runner again. Back to Bradley's, got another one. Manu now up at the 10 line. Bradley, little clip off the sidewall. Manu, another backhand. This one got by. Zulaika on the rebote, keeps it inside. Manu, good control. A runner inside. Zulaika coming cross court. Just tipped it. 2 points for the Cyclones. Bradley advances on the serve. Forehand low and hard. Back to Manu. Zulaika reaching up. Great catch there at the 10 line. Powerful backhand. This one out of reach. Bueno backpedaling. Turns to rebote. Zulaika takes it off the numbers. High hard backhand. Again out of reach. This one cutting inside. Bueno another rebote. This one thrown wall to wall. On the bounce, here's Manu. It's an inside. Here's Bradley. Manu, what a catch up overhead. Forehand, sidearm play, will kick off the sidewall. Clean miss by Bradley. Zuleika's got the rebote. Bueno coming cross court, his forehand. Shot to the inside. Bradley backing up, he's got it. Sidearm forehand, here's Bradley. Nice catch in the corner. This one high and hard, catching a couple walls. Bueno on the outside, turns it back inside. Bradley scooped it up. Bradley leaping grab, forehand, drop back inside. Manu coming cross court. He's got the rebote. Here's Zuleika though, 2-wall, split them, and score. 5 points for Zuleika and Bradley. They got a possible set point. And that splitter, splitting them up there. Come to the left side of Bueno, to the right side of Manu. Gotta communicate. Both players there, neither coming up with the ball. Forehand rebote, caught up overhead. Here's Manu at the 11 line. This one dropping low. Bradley ducks. Zuleika's got it on the back end. Here's Bueno. He's gonna pass with the backhand. Zuleika calls him off. Lines it up at the 7 line, turns it powerfully. Bueno back inside. Catch by Bradley again. Forehand played inside. Manu drops it just above the pad. Here's Bradley coming up from the 10 line. Big backhand again. Bueno rebote, low and hard. Bradley now trying to get in there. The call off on the rebote. That one missed. Extends the set. Cyclones with 3. They serve.
Tough one. Zuleika had the play on the rebote, has the better rebote out of the two players, Bradley and Zuleika. That really constitutes Zuleika's first miss, Bradley's first miss on the evening.
Bradley on the forehand, lines it up. Sidearm play, caught by Manu. Perfect catch off the sidewall. Rebote comes shooting out. Zuleika, powerful throw. There's Bueno on the inside. Comes the rebote, crashes into the sidewall. Zuleika gets it off in time. Another rebote coming out for Bueno. This one turned up the middle. Zuleika on the costado. The high drop shot not working out. Manu gonna get up there. Blast the backhand up at the 7. Bradley going up for it. Makes the play. Rebote now by Bueno. Played inside. Here's Zuleika, the 2-wall. It scores for the set. Zuleika and Bradley take it 6-3. 2 minutes. We'll play set number 2.
I'll tell you. So I'll tell you, Zuleika playing flawlessly up there in the front. By flawless, meaning 2 mistakes. In highlight, that's flawless. Bradley backing him up absolutely beautifully.
It started with Iturbide early on. Bradley's catching just about everything in the corner, and again with Zuleika. If Bradley, as a 5th-ranked player, can keep this form with Iturbide
like
and Zuleika in front of him.
This is the best that I have ever seen Bradley play.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe by comparison to year 1, but.
I mean, really no weak team for the Chargers out of their 6, especially if Bradley plays like this. I mean, the 3 and 4 teams turn into a strength.
And we are back with some replays here from that first set. Decidedly good set played by the Chargers. We were talking about the tremendous play by both purple shirts here. Zuleika with catches like that, and Bradley with solid catches in the backcourt. Zuleika playing so confidently. There we are in the ESPN 3 Players Cage. Players take their breaks here. In between sets, get a chance to consult with their teammates. Shared with the opposing team. Fortunately, these guys share a locker room as well. Camaraderie solid in between players on a team and amongst the teams themselves.
Well, all day long, the backcourt play has been great for the Chargers.
Absolutely.
I mean, Ubia in the first match, Bradley is a 5, Benny is a 3. It's a tough team. Already won a championship. They know what it takes. Look out for these guys come May. Second set. Ready to go. Bueno and Manu have the serve.
As we get ready to begin this set, this reminder, you're watching Battle Court live from the Magic City Jai-Alai Fronton in Miami, Florida.
There's a serve by Bueno. Our second set is underway. Bradley opens up with a hard forehand. Manu stops it. Sidearm play to the inside. Magic City bounce. Zoik able to dig it out. Manu coming cross court. Lines it up. There's another powerful backhand. Bradley from the left side. Ball tipped by Bradley. It's going to give the Cyclones the first point of our second set.
Of course, we were speaking about how well he was doing. We stole his game from him. No, not at all. That's his first miss amongst many fantastic catches. Bradley, it's really just a question of staying healthy. If he keeps those knees healthy, he can have a phenomenal season.
Every season he's played, the full season, his team has had a lot of success. Backhand to the inside. Bradley thought about it, lets it come out. Zuleika lays up the rebote. Here's Bueno. Just above the pad. Bradley. Forehand from the 9 line. Sidearm play. Caught in the air by Bueno. Bueno now shoots it low and hard. Bradley there again. Interference ruled. The point will be replayed.
In Jai-Alai, interference requested. Even if it's requested silently, it's requested. And it's the decision of the judge. Judge has to decide whether or not there was an actual play to be made. And if there was, if interference did occur. In that case, both were accurate. Interference granted.
Hard forehand. Manu up the wall. He comes down with the ball. Backhand laid up. Here's Bradley on the numbers. Takes it at the 11 line. Manu again in the corner. What a catch. Bradley from the forehand. Drops this one to the inside. Manu, good pickup. Down the 13. Rebote again comes shooting out. Bueno Rebote saved to the inside. Here's Bradley. Manu now at the 11. Picks it off the ground. Zuleika going up for it. High hard return. Just does clear the overhead screen. Bueno backpedals into position. Stops at the 3 line. Turns it back to Bradley. Rebote left side. Coming up the middle. Bradley crouching down. Makes the play. Softer touch on the forehand. Manu steps up. Ball tipped. That's 2 points for the Cyclones. Bradley's backhand got away from him. Up in the overhead screen and out of play. 3 points for the Cyclones.
Bradley not extending too far on the backswing. The longer the backswing, generally, the longer the backswing, the lower the ball goes on the front wall. The higher the backswing, the lower it goes.
Rebote 2 wall. Be a tough rebote. Manu's there to dig it out. Just out of reach of Zuleika. Bradley, nice hop in the corner. Plays it inside. 3 walls. Manu lines it up. He turns the rebote. The scoop is missed. That's 4 points for the Cyclones.
It's an entirely different looking Chargers team here with Zulaika and Bragley than we saw in the first set. Just not able to establish any type of rhythm.
Here's Zulaika, the 2-wall. Lands in and scores. Outside serve is a missed serve. Second serve coming up for Zulaika. That serve takes Manu to the outside. Puts it over the top. Bradley now lining it up on the forehand, deep in the backcourt. Manu calls 1-0 off on the rebote. It's a 2-wall. Zulaika stops it on the bounce, opens up for the carom. That scores. 2 points for the Chargers. They serve. Look at Zulaika opening up for the carom. Bueno to his left before he makes that throw. Long way to go. Middle court serve. Way to the inside. Bradley. What a catch at the 13. Bueno for the 7. Low running backhand. Missed by Bradley. 5 points for the Cyclones. They got a possible set point.
Had a face full of Zulaika on that one. And you see when you're trying to eye the ball into your cesta and you see your partner basically swinging for it, there's lots of distractions there. The helmet's white, often the cinta is white. There's lots of white that intermixes with the ball, makes it difficult to see. That's an underserve.
Second serve coming up for Bueno. Bradley, forehand, high and hard, 3 walls. Bueno lining it up on the rebote, takes a save. Zulaika, quick turn on the backhand to the inside. Manu's there. Bradley now from the 10. Big backhand is up in the overhead screen. We are going to a third set in just 2 minutes. Final match of the day. And we're going to have a third set to decide it. Couple more mistakes there by the Chargers in set number 2. And Bradley fording with the overhead screen a couple times. A couple tips by Zulaika up there in the front. Cyclones are right back in this thing. We said Bueno and Manu 9-3 last season in their 12 matches as a third-ranked doubles team. And those threes last year played a rank up as well. They played a couple matches against second-ranked teams. So these guys have played tough competition. They've hung in there. They know it's going to take a grueling 3-set match, and they're in store for it. And look at Ikeda providing the berry fit for the team. You've taken a liking to that, Stu. The pineapple, the fruit.
No question about
punch.
it.
What is that flavor there?
This is tropical punch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Prominently pineapple. And I've gone through 2 bottles of this while announcing tonight.
You have?
To be honest with you, this berry fit. So this isn't just we're not just plugging.
Folks, Stu doesn't just play.
No.
He's been drinking
I mean,
this.
I mean, I'll let it sit next to me in the post-game
Right.
show if Scott says, hey, This is a new partner. Let's do this. We did it with the Jai-Alai beers before now. But this berry fit is something that literally I would go out and buy a case of and keep in my refrigerator. No question about it.
It's the best endorsement you can get.
Delicious. Absolutely
as genuine
delicious.
as it comes. Third set ready to go here. Bradley about to make his way out to the court. Third and decisive set. We'll have the Chargers with control of the serve.
Bradley tying into his cesta there. That hand sits flat on top of the wicker basket. There's just a piece of felt in there. Leather glove goes over the top of the hand. And then that tie, that long tie, affixes the hand into the cesta. True for all players. Some players tie it a little bit more quickly than that. Some players will leave it on for an extended period of time.
There's a serve by Zulaika. Our third set is underway. Backhand by Manu. Zulaika on the rebote, keeps it inside. Manu gonna run around it. Here's the backhand. Bradley down just beyond the 11 line. Soft touch. Manu steps up. Low and hard on the backhand. Bueno inside to cut it off. Zulaika coming cross court, crashes into the sidewall. Backhand to Manu. Rebote forehand to the inside. Manu gonna run around it again. High off the front wall. Bradley backing up. What a pickup, backed up to the glass. Manu steps up, has it at the 9 line. Low runner inside. Bradley another great play. This one on the bounce. Bradley lines it up. Backhand from the 11 line. One died off the front wall. Bueno in there to cut it off. Powerful return. Bradley steps out of the way. Zulaika digs out the rebote. Runner just above the pad. Bradley, great control, gets it off in time. Another one coming in. This one kicked up. Bradley stays with it. What a catch by Manu, crashing into the sidewall, lifted up, put it in the overhead screen. Zulaika, forehand to the outside, is tipped. Great opening point goes to Zulaika and Bradley.
Watching Bradley and Manu trade throws with such a rhythm is a beautiful thing to watch. It really is. This outside placement just goes off the frame of Bueno. If you held that ball up in the middle of that cesta with your fingers, you'd see that you got about a little over a ½ inch on either side of that ball. So you're talking about a margin of error of 1 inch with the ball that's moving anywhere from 75 to 130, 150 miles an hour.
Zulaika on the backhand. One-handed catch. Manu tipped it. 2 points for the Chargers. What a catch by Manu up the wall. Comes down with the ball. Rebote, forehand. Fired back over the top. Great catch by Manu. Bradley on the left side. Backhand opens up. Here's Manu. Low runner, bow, backhand 2-wall. Mixed it up, and that one's tipped on the bounce. Change of pace got him. First point for the Cyclones.
Backhand 2-wall, just not one that he throws off, and Zulaika had his cesta out there to try to make the catch, just couldn't bring it in.
Bradley, hard throw, back inside. Manu running around it. He's got the rebote. Great catch by Zulaika, low, backhand, quick release. Trying to get it to Bueno up there. He's alone for the rebote, keeps it inside. Bradley now, just beyond the 10 line. Bueno coming cross court, backhand up at the 7. On the numbers, leaping grab by Zulaika. Manu on the inside, just beyond the 12. Lobs this one up. Bradley coming back for it. Forehand played back to the inside. There's Manu on the rebote. Right at Zulaika's feet, where it's tipped. Cyclones have come back to tie it up, 2-2. Ball missed off the serve. The ace gives the Cyclones, Bueno and Manu, the lead.
Bradley looked like he was timing that catch as opposed to lining it up and just watching the ball go into his cesta.
Zulaika takes that serve. What a backhand. Quick release. Bueno trying to get back in there. He does. Ice rebote save. Dropping low. Bradley has it in the air. Bit of a half carom. Manu on the bounce. Costado straight to the inside. Here's Bradley. Bradley slows it down. Manu back inside. Takes it in the air. Low running backhand. Actually kicked up and out. Zulaika puts it up the middle. Here's Bueno now on the left side. Low runner. On the numbers. What a grab by Bradley. Manu now, ranging back at the 12 line, puts it inside. Bradley again, backhand. Bueno reaching up, he's got it up at the 8. Back to the inside, Bradley's there. Forehand rebote, just does reach the front wall. Here's Bueno. Inside placement, Bradley all alone. He's scooped up another one, backhand. Back to Manu. Right in the corner. Wonky rebote, Zulaika stays with it. Bueno again coming cross court, there's a backhand. Comes out to the right side of Bradley. Bradley, hard throw, Manu steps up, running under it. On the wall, that rebote's flicked up. Bueno charging, got it on the forehand again. Back inside, crossing, and caught by Bradley. Another one by Manu. Another catch by Bradley on the left side. Low and hard, here's Manu again. Forehand rebote, Manu not gonna let that one pass, he's got it overhead. Forehand lob between them. Zulaika coming back for it, straight outside. Bueno stops it on the bounce, the carom by Bueno will score. Bueno brings the Cyclones to a 4-2 lead.
Really well thrown 2-all by Bueno, lined it up beautifully.
Zulaika takes the serve, whips it up the middle, and the scoop just tipped. Just a 1-point deficit. Chargers serve.
Zulaika clearly knew what he was doing there and threw the ball at Manu's feet. Again, sometimes it's a question of just taking, when you make the catch, you just take that extra half second. It's a little bit, it's like a hip check. It's a little bit of emotion, and you scope out where your opponents are. When you see Manu running like that, you adjust a little bit and throw lower. That's exactly what Zulaika did. Can he scoop it? Yeah. Is it more difficult to scoop when it's right in front of you? Yes.
Hard serve, what a grab by Manu. Back inside, Bradley's got it low. Soft touch on the backhand, Bueno reaching up for it, cuts it off at the 9 line. Zulaika, Costado, splitter. Manu stops this one on the outside. Manu, sidearm play, well placed, and scoring. The Cyclones have 5 points. They have a possible set, a possible match point. Bradley, soft touch on the forehand again. Drop to the feet of Manu. He's backing up. He got it at the 12 line. Between both Chargers, forehand Rebote laid up. Manu, great grab at the 12. Right on the sidewall, Zulaika, Rebote back over the top. Manu back it up. He's got it. Rally now, forehand, high off the front wall. Manu running around it, keeps it on the left side. Hard backhand right at Bradley's feet, just out of the way. Splitter. Manu reads another one, stops it. Sidearm play, back to the inside. That is tipped and scoring for the win. Point, set, and match. Cyclones come back and win it in 3 sets, 6-3 in the final set. Chargers take the game day, though. Stay tuned for the post-game show coming up in just a few moments.
What is Battle Court Jai-Alai? The world's fastest ball sport, and so much more. Jai-Alai is played inside a 3-wall court that measures just 120 feet long by 33 feet wide. The game is played with a hand-woven wicker basket called a cesta and a Jai-Alai ball. The ball is as hard as a rock, and it travels around the court at an average speed of 150 miles per hour. Players will crash into the sidewall or throw themselves onto the concrete ground without a single layer of padding just to get to it. Jai-Alai is like playing baseball if you had to catch and throw with just the gloved hand. And it's a rally sport, kind of like tennis, but much more dangerous.
Manny, there's a carom. Bradley on the move, breaking. He got there. Blast the forehand. Everybody out of the way, and Nicholas got hit by the ball.
Jai-Alai is played as a singles match or as a doubles match. The match winner is the first player or doubles pair to win 2 out of 3 sets played to 6 points.
Gaucheri up in the front court towards the inside. What a scoop!
What an amazing
by Douglas.
catch.
Gaucheri picks it up in the front court, whips it inside.
What another
one.
mate. Did it
He
again.
made it.
2 times back to back. That's freaking crazy.
Here's Gaucheri, 2-all return. Douglas reaching outside. Powerful forehand at the feet is missed for the
Point,
win.
set, and match.
Point, set, and match.
That's
Douglas.
respect.
Every point rally begins with a serve, then the players alternate catching and throwing the ball. While a point is being played, the ball can hit any of the court walls, but it cannot bounce twice on the ground. Simply put, the object of the game is to catch one more ball than your opponent, or better yet, to fire the ball so it can't be caught. When a player cannot successfully return the ball to the front wall, then 1 point is awarded to the opposition and the next rally begins with a new serve. A Battle Court game day consists of 6 matches, and the team that wins the most matches wins the day. Pick your favorite team, doubles pairing, or singles player, and cheer for them all season long. Or up the ante and bet on it. Battle Court Jai-Alai allows for wagering on the matches, the sets, and each individual point. The ball is lethal, the game is lightning fast, and the action is limitless. This is Battle Court Jai-Alai. As soon as that Jai-Alai ball leaves the cesta, you can't blink because every second is packed with action. Keep up with the world's fastest ball sport all game day long with bets on the matches, the sets, and each individual point. Find your favorite team or player and get in on the action with DraftKings, the official sports betting partner of the World Jai-Alai League. The crown is yours.
And folks, welcome to the Battle Court post-game show. The Chargers take the game day 6.5 to 1.5. Let's cut to those highlights right away and recap what Stu and I saw behind us. Back to that opening match, it was Iturbide and Ubia against Ikeda and Lopez. A couple shots early on by Iturbide.
I was very pleased to see Iturbide basically find his game. He's been trying to find exactly how to get these 2 walls to open up, and he did a fantastic job doing it tonight, both singles. Consistently with the doubles play up there in the front court. Also have to say, fantastic play by Ubia in the backcourt. Yes. Lopez has really kind of screwed up the bell curve in terms of how long does it take a player to adjust from the traditional Jai-Alai world to Magic City's court. And the truth of the matter is that Lopez is playing as good as any backcourter we have on this roster, regardless of how much time they've had. I can only imagine what's going to happen as he improves throughout the season, because he will get used to some of those subtle bounces. But Ubia struggled his very first season as he came in to replace Kubala last year in 2023. But he played spectacular tonight.
Yes, he did.
Good catching, throwing hard, also making some really solid rebotes.
And see the carom there by Ikeda, just not nearly enough offense coming in this second-ranked doubles matchup. See Iturbide again on the costado, this time a drop shot.
It was really working for him.
Just dropped it out of reach. And got the picada, the big bouncer, up over Ubia.
Going into the third set, really didn't know which way this one was going to go. It seemed that momentum was clearly in the direction of Ikeda and Lopez.
That was at 5-5.
Until it wasn't.
Final ball tipped by Lopez, ending it in favor of the Chargers in 3 sets, 6-5 in the final 2 sets. The Chargers getting that valuable final point. And then top-ranked singles, Zulaika and Manu established that 2-wall early on. It's Zulaika.
Manu was on, as we saw earlier this week. Don't forget, we play Battle Court Fridays at 7 p.m., Mondays at 5 p.m., and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. now through May. So we had an opportunity to see Manu play earlier in the week. He looked fantastic in terms of throwing shots like you see this one right here. Perfect placement to the outside, scoring. We saw that very consistently. Zulaika a little less consistent with his shot making, but not tonight. The 2-walls were landing in. His court positioning was spot on perfect. Overall, he had a great night overall. See outside placement here, just beautifully executed. Again, it looked like it could have touched his sets. It can, but you have to remember all of his movement is to the outside. It's not just stopping that ball.
Right.
So he'd have to get that ball into his really well, but Zulaika dominating.
Yeah. Another 2-wall right there, ending that match in favor of Zulaika, taking in the third set, 6-4. And we moved over to 5th-ranked doubles, El Barba and Benny against Ikeda and Bueno.
So Ikeda and Bueno have experience playing together. El Barba really is the X factor in this.
Yeah.
You don't know how he's going to play as a 6th-ranked player who was prohibited from coming into the draft his first couple years for a variety of different reasons, but was welcomed into the draft for spring 2024, and man, he has earned his place. He's absolutely earned his place. He played beautifully tonight, and
Yes,
also without the antics.
Yeah,
you know, there's room
Sure.
for antics, as I've been told repeatedly, but it's just a question of the degree to which those antics come out on the court, and if the antics outweigh the play, that's a problem. El Barba sometimes has had a difficult time finding it, but there, he's entitled to his antics right there because he had some solid play, and the crowd should be pleased with how he did. Also, I got to say, I'm very happy for El Barba. He's worked hard. He really has.
Yes, he has. Great play to begin this season. That brought us to 4th-ranked doubles matchup, Iturbide and Bradley. And
mismatch
a bevy
up
of
in
drop
the,
shots.
Yeah, there's just a mismatch in the front court here. It becomes more of a mismatch if Iturbide is on, and Iturbide was on. Also, Bradley in the backcourt, not making some of those mistakes. See the person there taking a picture before they leave with that light right there. They just fail to recognize that light is being shined right into the face of the players. And unfortunately, we don't have anybody up there to say, hey, please, shut the light off. One of the benefits and the drawbacks. Always good of having glass wall anyway.
Yes, yeah,
always good to see Lopez playing well. Again, communication, not bad. Better, I'd say, in their second outing here between Flores and Lopez, but it's just a different. Lopez is used to playing a different game. Missed that ball there in the back. We'll say kudos to Bradley. Bradley's catching was spot on, as was his throwing in both of the matches that he played. Really good to see.
Another win there for the Chargers. That brought us to a third-ranked singles matchup. And Carballo looking to turn the tide, but Benny put him on him early.
And Carballo, who's been the subject of quite a bit of press this last week in the so small world of Jai-Alai as far as press is concerned. Locked in, playing well, nothing too explosive. Overall exciting, really well executed plays like that. Benny maintained his composure and just played really beautifully, including getting one ace on Carballo, which I don't think I've seen Benny do before.
No.
So really proud of Benny. He did an excellent job with that. Overall, Carballo, this could have been
to end the match.
Just really well done, especially Carballo insisting upon taking that on the forehand, but congratulations to Benny. That was a decidedly good effort.
Yeah, straight sets for Benny, and then that brought us final doubles match of the day, third-ranked doubles. Zuleika and Bradley, great play early on. Thought this was going to be a quick two-setter, but the Cyclones made the game of it.
Absolutely. Manu, never say die. Bueno finding a better game here than he had earlier. Zuleika was on, but the communication between Zuleika and Bradley was just absolutely spectacular. I did say during the match that Bradley was spot on in the first set. In the third set as well, that second set left a little bit desired for both he and Zuleika. But you see spectacular catches like that. Again, if Bradley can stay healthy, if he can keep those knees, he's got chronic knee issues just coming off of surgery in 2023. He can keep his knees healthy and make spectacular catches like that. This Chargers team is going to be really difficult to beat.
I agree, Stu. A lot of good teams here in the Spring 24 season, but none slept on as much as these Chargers. Already a championship under their belt. A very similar roster.
Beautiful carom here by Zuleika, already in the screen by the time that Bueno gets there. That's really well thrown. Also, a highlight player sitting there, used to play at Tampa and Miami, Garo.
How about that?
I won't even begin to try to, oh yes I will. Garo Gareka-Beitia. The last name. I remember filling
I think
out.
you got it, yeah.
Trying to type that into a contract. Good luck.
He needed the rainbow nameplate. Not going to fit on the
What
jersey.
a tremendous player at Miami Highlight towards the end of his career. The former Miami Highlight, that is. Here we have Bueno with a great catch to the outside. Launches a carom. Very well done. Zuleika just not able to get to it. One decidedly good play, earning the applause of everyone. Big.
And folks, back on camera, Stu Nyman to my left, Andrew Bleckman here on the right.
If you saw me do that fast turn thing, it's because they've invested in everything except a giant screen back here for us to watch, so we have to turn, then they count down, and we have to look at the camera. So if you ever see the back of my head, I've tried to use that spray stuff, but it really doesn't look too well. You'll see some skin back there.
I'll give you the voluminizing shampoo. How does it look in week 2?
Can I borrow it? Because it's really been working for you. Seriously, you look like you have serious hair going on.
Thank you, Stu. That means a lot. Well, let's cut back to some of those the standings here. We'll see all 6 teams and where they stack up. Again, 6.5 points of a possible 8 today for the Chargers. You see they're up at the top. However, an extra game day played, as do the Cyclones. They're at the bottom of our standings. Renegades, Warriors, Devils, and Fireballs. So we've seen a couple of these teams in action this week get even on those possible points remaining. But a really good start for the Chargers. They kept that momentum up through the rest of the game day. And the one thing that we talked about off camera was the backcourt play. I mean, Benny, Ubia, and Bradley, all 3 of them are solid. If they can continue that play, it's going to be a tough team to beat.
Ubia played better today than I had seen him play, and same thing with Bradley. These are the 2 best days that I've ever seen for those 2 backcourters, two of the players that you mentioned. Yeah,
and you go with Zuleika and Iturbide up there in the front. Really good partnerships for the Chargers team. Player of the day for today. What are we thinking, Stu?
A lot of players can be mentioned when you're thinking of player of the day, so we don't always just think about who did the best. Usually we pick someone from the winning team. These are like unwritten rules, but if we don't, I usually get angry texts and phone calls. I've been getting quite a few of those this week, actually.
Wow.
I'll share them with you afterwards. It's like not all from the inside of the company either, some from the outside. So we try to pick someone from the winning team. We also I always look for someone who's playing differently than they've played before. So there are a number of candidates there. Iturbide found his 2-all, found his court positioning tonight, was great on the rebote. Ubia did not miss balls that we've seen him miss before, and he was able to put those great catches together with his power. And then Bragley, one of the original 2018 Magic City Highlight players, never saw a cesta before 2018, keeping up with Manu in the backcourt. What can you say but fantastic play for Bragley? But one player that just stuck out, maybe just that little extra inch, was Benny.
Yeah, Benny, the captain of the Chargers, had a few minutes to speak to him. Let's hear from the captain, number 55. What is it like playing with a 6th-ranked player that has as much offensive potential as El Barba?
Yeah, I mean, El Barba played really, really good that game. I think that's the best game that we've played together. I know he subbed last season, so we had a little bit of experience together. But yeah, Ikeda and Bueno, they're a tough team. They're just going to catch and catch and catch and not really throw too many shots. So you really just have to out-catch them. Really.
Yeah, and you guys have struggled sometimes in closing those matches out. What was the difference today?
I think we're just playing a lot more confident early on. You know, we get the first set, and then we're up in the second set, and then the other team comes back and they get the win. But this time, we played a lot more confident throughout the whole match.
Yeah, and that singles match against Carballo, such a tough opponent. What were the keys to that victory?
Yeah, I felt a little bit rusty in singles because I haven't played in a while. And honestly, the first set, we both were kind of off, but I kind of settled in the second set.
Awesome. Congratulations, Benny. Big game day for your Chargers. He is our player of the day. And that was Benny, our player of the day. So, Stu, we have 3 Sunday performances throughout the year.
Big Sundays.
And
exciting time to tune in.
The first one coming up here on the 18th, just a few days away, so don't have to wait too long for some more highlight. Fireballs and Warriors will be in action beginning 3:30 Eastern time. That's the start for that game day. Hernandez and Cabrera against Williams and Manny will get us started. Then Inaki and Amigarena against Douglas and Nicholas. Jedden and Ferronda. That team switched to announce there. Jedden's going to be moving up into the front. Ferronda to the backcourt against Correa and Manny. Inaki and Douglas, top-ranked singles match. Then Jedden and Hernandez against Williams and Julin. And we will close it out, Stu. Second-ranked doubles, Ferronda against Nicholas. Another great Friday night here at the Magic City Fronton, Stu. A great crowd
Always
behind us. We'll be back here on Sunday. Don't forget, 3:30 Eastern start time for the Fireballs and the Warriors. He's Stu Nyman. I'm Andrew Bleckman. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back here on Sunday, 3:30 Eastern time. Have a good night.
Cairo, do you have any serving rituals?
Yeah, I have a lot of them.
Today we're comparing the tennis ball to the highlight ball.
Just like that effortless look, you know, but it's really a lot of effort.
5 facts about Battle Court Highlight you didn't know.
The ball averages a speed of 150 miles an hour, and the world record is 190 miles an hour.
Hi, my name is Anderson, and I cracked this glass.
I love y'all boys.